What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing? I hope I am coming through a lot better, a lot cleaner, and a lot louder than I was the last time we were all here. Dizzy Delta 88, this is the mic check. Mic check 1-1, mic check 2-2, mic check 3-3. This is the mic check. I hope I sound okay. Mic check 2-2, mic check 3-3. What's up, hero? We are starting the show off tonight with, like I said, just a mic check, making sure everything sounds good to y'all. I just listened to it a bit myself. I know y'all heard that, and sounds okay to me. All right, so tonight's show, here we go. Let me get everything in order because I would, buy a PC and find out. Yeah, buy a PC. I need those super chats to do that. That's right. Yeah. There we go. Use it as a way to get super chats. Help poor little old me. Buy a PC, even though I have a PC. Anyways, we're going to move on. Show topics tonight. Mini games that almost took over. That's going to be a fun one. I'm actually really excited about that. I'm almost more excited about that than anything else on the docket for tonight. But it's because I find myself getting so wrapped up in mini games, in just these fun little games that are just supposed to be added flavor that end up just taking over. I can't tell you how many hours I have playing Gwent or Blitzball or uh, any of the others that I can't think of right now. The poker in Red Dead, like those type of games that you just play for hours and hours and nothing else gets accomplished. So we're just going to talk about a few of those tonight, some of our favorites, and then going to talk about the New Game Plus Showcase, or as I like to call it, the Dusk Fade gameplay trailer. That's right. We will be discussing both of those things. Obviously, my stance on the New Game Plus Showcase will be very short. And I know Nate actually gave his stance on his show over the weekend, so it'll be good to kind of hear a few of his thoughts again. And then Forza Horizon beats Yotei in Europe. Oh my god! Somebody tell the presses! PlayStation is now wrecked. Xbox finally won, and it is over and done, and it's we should just pack it up, boys. Pack it up. Put the franchise on ice. It is terrible. It's not, but we'll get into it, and we'll talk about that. Then PlayStation Plus has new titles that leaked for the month of January, and they're not bad. They are not bad. The aggressively average gamer should be happy with that. Also, there's a new Star Trek Voyager game incoming. That's supposed to say is coming. Yes, is coming. And yeah, it looks rough, but there's a demo out. So, depending on how tonight goes, we might be playing that demo directly after the show, because how else do you get Thrifty to play a Star Trek game that he knows is going to be terrible? Well, you put Captain Janeway, Chakotay, Tuvok, Seven of Nine, B'Elanna, and Tom all on the ship with me, and give me Felix in a few episodes here and there, and my goodness, I'll be right there. I can't help myself. I'm going to check it out now, because it has Voyager in it, and it's going to be a train wreck. We can watch that train wreck if we hit our goal of 15 members. And even if we don't, I'll probably do it anyways, because what's a goal? This is like Whose Line Is It Anyway, where the number is made up and the points don't matter. But your membership does matter, so I don't really know how that analogy works. Huh. Anyways, speaking of membership, you can hit the like button. You can subscribe. Subscribing helps a lot. It does the thing. YouTube likes it when you subscribe. I know that 60% of the people who keep coming back and watching my videos every month are not subscribed to the channel. So, would be super awesome if you did. And so with that, we have a Nate on with us tonight. Let me get this pulled up and see why my buttons aren't working. Hang tight. Hang on. There's a hitch in the giddy up. Okay. And there we go. I think he can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. That was weird.
You were muted.
My mouse was not responding. I was clicking the unmute button, and my mouse was not responding. I was like, this is not good. So Nate, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Tired from a long work day. But you know, I'm enjoying the two games that I'm playing right now. So,
what are those?
Yeah, I'm having a ball. I'm still working through Octopath Traveler 0, but I'm finally making some headway through the story and getting some of the key characters I needed so I can finish up, really starting to get my characters. I could finally break the damage cap for 9,999. Anybody who has played, the majority of JRPGs knows that typically there's, for some reason, they like to tie breaking the damage cap to an item or a skill or something, basically to stop you from getting too OP too fast. Um, so I recently got the skill to break that. Um, and my farming is taking a whole new level recently with some new tricks and stuff I learned. Um, so yeah, now your boy's like a multi-millionaire in the game, and I got all the job points I could ever need. So I'm on the I'm on the right path,
So
the way I
you
like to
broke it.
be. Yeah, I broke it. That's my favorite thing to do when it comes to turn-based RPGs. I always tell people. So
Do you play D&D?
no, I don't play it.
Okay.
I've been invited to a group like once or
Okay.
twice, but it's just it's too much of a commitment for me. But it sounds cool. I basically told my friend that I would play when the things that he says starts to happen on a board in real life. I was
Mm.
um there's a good example of what I was talking about. Fuck, this is super random now that you asked me about this, but there's an example of this on like the Jackie Chan like cartoon or whatever, where they're playing um something like D&D, and as like the world says things, because they're like trapped in like a D&D world basically. The world changes and it's like really living and being in this world. And I was like, see, that's how I want D&D to be. When, when he says, we walked into, a forest, and I want that to appear, obviously I'm being realistic, like on a table, or whatever, but, like AR, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I want the game to respond so that I have something visual. And
But
they've gotten pretty. He got pretty good at it. I guess there's like a program that he ended up getting an iPad and showed me. There's like a whole compendium and stuff that he
mhm.
had like the mind flayers and all the stuff. And
Yeah.
basically he would shoot it out to the TV, and then he could kind of control the map and show everybody on the TV where they were, and then relay, hey, so and
Mhm.
so has entered the city, and in the city, and then it would change and it would look like a city, because he's already got it picked out of how he wants the city to look. And I was like, that's pretty close. I was like, you almost got me. You're real close. I'm getting there. We're not quite there yet,
Well, no.
but
So the reason I asked that is because you strike me as a player who would is really just like me. My group makes fun of me because any class that I play or anything I play as, one certain stat will give that like character's main stat, right? Like
yeah,
so for a barbarian it's strength, I think for a wizard it's intelligence, for a sorceress it's wisdom, like those are your main stats.
hmm
And so it's it's funny because they mess with me all the time about min maxing my characters, like
yeah.
dump all my weak stats and then just power boost and shove all of my main stats to break the character into its whatever its big stat is. But yeah, you remind me a lot of that's how I feel like that's how you would play D&D is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, I've always,
Just
min
how
maxed my
can I break
characters
it?
in MMOs and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm always gonna look for the advantage. Um, I guess probably the biggest thing that, honestly, to answer your question though about why I've also never played, is because one of the biggest things that I don't like is the main factor for D&D, and it's the random roll. Yeah, I don't
Oh
like
no, dude, you gotta
random.
let the dice decide, brother. You gotta let the dice
Yeah,
decide.
I actually, fun fact, when I play Baldur's Gate, I actually disable that feature. That's a big reason why I like to play on PC. I actually, that is the biggest thing I
What,
don't
can you
like
not
in Baldur's
disable
Gate
it
3.
on PlayStation?
No, no, you can't.
Oh, you mod it. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. I just mod it out. So
Gotcha.
basically, I mod it so that and the reason is because I like to control. So I'm used to their other game, which is Divinity: Original Sin,
Uh-huh.
which does not have any randomness. It's now it completely, it depends on your stats, and I prefer that. Like I'm good with that. If my charisma stat is too low, and that's just what it is, I'm cool with that. Sucks to suck, but um, but yeah, the having the random roll decide drives me crazy, especially if it's a critical thing because most people just save scum anyway, right? So I'm like, why save scum if I can just make the dice roll 20 whenever I feel like it? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, no, no,
Like
no. I
yeah,
see what
I
you're
can
saying,
control that.
but
Yeah. Now
that's
I
cheating.
get people do like that. Yeah. But like I get people do like that, but I don't like that because I rather just not save scum and I rather just control it anyway.
Yeah.
So that's a perfect example of why I don't really play um D&D cuz like it would drive me crazy to roll like badly on like a critical moment when we could have like won and like now my legs crippled for like
No,
the
no, no,
rest of the
no,
game.
no, because that's a terrible DM if he does that to you. There's always a way. Anyways, I was just wondering because of the way you said that we were talking about you breaking your character's an Octopath.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. No, I mean
that's
that is the running joke on our show about how I play any RPG. I will go for so it's kind of funny because Omar is the opposite. Omar is we frequently beat Omar's legs in because he overly tries to limit himself or tries to do things way too early. So then he
mm,
gets really excited because he's like, guys, I beat this boss, 47 hours before I was supposed to, and it took me 3.5 hours to do
I
it. And we're
remember
like,
that. Didn't he spend like 3 hours on a Expedition 33 boss?
yeah, he spent over 3 hours
Yeah.
fighting a stupid little pink fluffy ball in the beginning of the game. And I was like, oh, well, that's cool. Well, I came back and I one shot it. So, I mean, congratulations, I guess. Like, I was like, who cares? Like,
Aw.
yeah, we told him, we were like, no, you did that because you have nothing to do, is what we told him. We were like, so, I mean, you can do that when you ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
But
That's messed
but
up.
yeah, like I said, I famously play it that way. Like the whole thing. Anybody who's played Expedition now knows. Like I didn't fight the Paintress until I was level 88.
Whew.
Yeah,
Whew.
like I was basically 2 seconds shy of like a god before I
Yeah,
fought the
dude.
Paintress.
I fought her at 50?
Yeah, that's about
54?
that's about where most people fight her.
That's yeah. But 54 in about 35 hours is about is about the average.
Yeah, so I just listened to an audiobook and I found a specific enemy that would constantly give me a boost, and I did a bunch of stuff to like min max this whole thing, and
Oh, yeah.
it was above my level at the time, but even when it matched my level, it still gave me a ton because you got a bonus for defeating it plus an extra spawn that it would spawn. So I was still getting a ton of XP. So I'd literally just listen to an audiobook and I could literally I could parry them without actually looking at the screen. I could parry by sound with one hand. Like
That's
so
fantastic.
yeah. Yeah, man, I will, like I said, by any means necessary, bro. I will break a game. I don't like struggling.
Nate's like, I ain't
Honestly,
got time for this shit.
yeah, I don't have time for that, bro. I'm not struggling. Like I was recently getting on the Unalesca chick's post because she was
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
puffing her chest out because she
About the
you
grind.
know yeah, well she beat a boss 15 levels below what she was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, a lot of people could do that. But my problem with that is number one, you play video games for a living, so yeah, sure, have at it, right? I don't. I don't have time for that because you want to know what the next problem is? If you're 15 levels below for that boss, that means you're just as low, if not lower, for the next boss. So then you're just creating a bunch of problems for yourself by being overly underleveled.
Hmm.
Now, if you want to play that way, cool, that's fine. I'm not doing that because I ain't got that kind of time and I don't play video games for a living. So yeah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, there's the whole back and forth with stuff like that and being underleveled and overleveled. I have no problem being on the level as long as the game is pretty fair.
Yeah.
But um, Octopath is famously on some BS. Uh, and this one in particular has like every major enemy has like three final forms. Like, this isn't even my final form. Like, bro, I'm telling you, I'd be like, bro, how are you still alive? Like, I just beat the royal breaks off of you, and you just keep coming back. And so yeah, like I'd rather just be over leveled so I don't have to deal with the nonsense. And I love breaking my games, bro. I don't I if I can get the sort of penultimate truth 5 minutes into the game, I'm gonna do it, and I don't care. Now I get why people don't want to do that, and I'm like, cool, you can struggle through that 30 to 45 minute battle, and and get your sense of accomplishment, and I'll two shot it, and I'll still feel accomplished, and I don't care. So yeah, that's how I roll. Same thing for the other game that I'm playing right now, which is Pirate Yakuza, uh, which I told you was annoying me at first because they were really trying to hold me back from customizing my ship and letting me go crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
they do.
like yeah, it took a long time,
It did.
and finally, I got that going, and I started to really you know get some stuff popping, and I had a lot of good material by the time I got to that point. So I went ahead and upgraded, and like now my ship is like fully stacked up, and I got freezing laser cannons and all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, the ship is looking amazing. Having a lot more fun now. Uh, I'm starting to get. I got a bunch of legendary crew members and
Legendary
stuff like
crew
that.
members. Where the hell did you find those dudes at?
Well, I mean, again, remember I told you one of the things I like to make sure I get is I like to make sure I get the all-in-one edition. Well, the deluxe edition comes with all of the DLC, and one of the DLCs gives you uh, four legendary crew members
No shit.
at the moment you can get them, and one of
Huh.
them is Kazuya or whatever, Kiryu. Um, so you get him and a couple other people, including Yuki or whatever her name was, the hostess.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you get a bunch of them. So I got all of them are like on my team, and I have them all as leaders for my boarding party.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get a ton of people.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
that. I have quite a few staff, but like, or quite a few staff, quite a few crewmates, but like, I ain't got none of them legendary.
Yeah, most of the crew that I've picked up on the side, they're pretty basic. Most
Yeah.
of them are like bronze.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's
so
that's what I'm finding. That's why I was like, where the hell did you get the legendaries?
yeah, so I mean, you get those. Obviously, the chick at the bar is legendary. But I mean, she takes forever to get because she wants you
Yeah,
to get
I'm not there
30
yet.
days. Yeah, so that takes forever. And then I think the
There's another
bartender is
one.
also legendary,
Yeah, the
but he
bartender
takes
and the
forever.
travel agent.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, the travel agent as well. Yeah.
yep.
So yeah, there's a few, but yeah, a lot of my people being legendary is just because um some of your starting crew members are legendary. Obviously, Masaru or whatever, he's legendary. Um, and of course, like go. I'm messing up everybody's name right now.
What the?
The tiger and the kid, they're also legendary
Are
free
they
support.
really?
Yeah, they are.
I didn't realize they were. Yeah, I have them and the
Yeah,
panda.
Yeah, I don't have the Panda yet,
Yep, I got the
but
Panda super early. I don't know how I did it, but I got it.
yeah, so yeah, that's the same thing. Like to break it, like to go crazy. Uh, you know, get access to all the stuff I'm not supposed to have early. Demolish everything. I don't have a problem with that. Like again, I always tell people, different strokes for different folks. Like I get why a lot of people don't like being overpowered, but that is like I like to play my games like I like my anime. If you're not, you know, walking in the slow motion with the uncaring attitude, ready to two shot something, you're doing it wrong. Like that's how I like my gaming. That's how I like my anime.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
nothing kills me more when your character is super powerful in a cutscene, but weak as hell when you play them. That
yes,
drives me crazy.
yes,
Yeah.
100%. Like I just saw you do all this cool shit, and I can do none of it.
None of
What?
it.
Why?
Now I'm on the struggle bus.
What happened? Why? Like, yes, that pisses me off so bad.
Yeah,
So bad.
my man walked in fire breathing and, unleashing, the sword of ultimate nines, and the sky fell and then, I start fighting and, I'm like, you know, double slash and I'm like, really? That's all we got? That's all we got.
You know what? Maybe that's why I like Tales of Arise so dang much. Because when he pulls that flaming sword out and does that attack, and then during the cutscene when he gets the ability, and then after that you do the attack, it feels pretty much the same. And so it feels really good because
Yeah.
I just made that happen. You know what I mean?
No, I definitely feel that. Yeah, they did a really good job on those where you don't feel that. Like you get to do a lot of crazy stuff and go crazy and do your ultimates and
Yeah.
um, stuff like that. And I definitely feel like Expedition did a really good job with that as well. Like when I really got to some of the higher end skills and in combination with the right pictos, like I could do some crazy stuff. Like you could just I loved it. You could be just as punishing as a boss with the right pictos. Like when they
Yeah.
hit you and you deflect and that paragraph of pictos pops up on the side of the screen, you know it's party time. Like
Mm.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the way that the games make you the fantastical feel grounded is really cool. That's one of my favorite things about Expedition 33 because there was such a physical element to the combat that with
Yeah.
the parries, the dodge, the jump, all of it, there was such a physical element there that it felt so grounded, but then you would pull off some ridiculous ass move
Yeah.
and it would be in a parry or it would be a counter attack or the way the camera a lot of it I think a lot of it was really camera work
Oh, it
because
was.
the way the camera would just zoom in real quick when you did a parry and would do that big pullback with the flash and everything like it was really sick. Like anyways, sorry, I kind of took us off on a little tangent there, but
No, no, you're good.
man.
No, but I mean, I agree that those are all important things about why we like the games that we like and stuff like that. I mean, it's a perfect segue, right, out of kind of what we are talking about with the games and why we like the type of games that we do. But because people frequently ask, right, people like us who do play a lot of these games fairly in depth and play more than the average person, right? Um, why did that game pop off when another game didn't? And there's usually, honestly, people think it's like mystical or something else, and sometimes it's just word of mouth and critics losing their mind. Like, don't get me wrong, but let's be real, most people who bought Elden Ring didn't beat it, but let's be real.
Guilty.
It was, yeah, like it was the hype. It was the hype in the moment. They literally put that game through the stratosphere when the
Mm-hmm.
reviews came out, and people were like, "Oh, well, I got that means I gotta play it." Like a friend of mine bought the game for me just because the hype was so crazy, even knowing that I don't even like Souls games. That's how crazy the hype was for
Well,
that
because
game.
it was an easy Souls game, remember? That's why I bought it. I was told it was
Well,
an easy
well,
Souls game.
yeah. Then we found out how much of a lie that was.
Lying ass
Yeah,
people.
this is the Souls game for people who don't like Souls games.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, Stellar Blade is the Souls game for people who don't like Souls games.
Now
That's
that is a correct statement, sir.
that's that's whenever somebody says I hate Souls games, I'm like, play Stellar Blade.
Yeah,
Shut up
play Stellar
and be
Blade.
happy.
Because yeah, to me, see that's the difference for me in Souls games, and then something that felt like I had rewarding combat. Right?
Yes.
I felt like the combat was rewarding. I felt like that's what I always tell people. I don't always have to be overpowered, right? Like I wasn't overpowered when I played Stellar Blade. You really can't be, right? But I felt like if I died, it's because I made a mistake, not because the game two-shotted me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So
always a big, damn it, I should have done this. It was never
exactly.
a, what the fuck did I do wrong? It's a totally
Yeah.
different conversation.
Yep.
It's totally different when I can look at myself and go, yep, I screwed up, versus looking at myself and going, I have no idea what the hell I did wrong. I thought I was doing pretty dang
Exactly.
good.
Exactly.
Whoops. Apparently I zigged when I should have zagged. Uh, Hero, you played 30 minutes of Elden Ring. I actually played more than that. I liked the I liked the aesthetic. The mobs were actually not that difficult. It was just the bosses. So I, for a little bit, would just go around in the first area after I did the whole level up bullshit trickery thing. Got my 17 levels, got my glint wand, did all that stuff. And then I just kind of stayed in that little first area, overpowered as shit, killing things. And even being overpowered, I was still getting my butt kicked by
Oh
mobs
yeah.
of
I mean,
three or
they'll still
more.
the little arrow dudes will still two-shot you if you're not
Yes!
careful. Yeah.
You're getting pegged and you're like, what the fuck? Where is that coming from? Where are
Oh yeah.
you?
Mobs will be on top of the mountain, looking down at you, catapulting you while you're fighting something on the ground.
Yes!
Like,
Because that was actually there was a ledge, and down off that ledge there were a bunch of trees, and you're like in this green clearing that has like a little like mountainous cliffs that are almost like steps in that area. I know where you're talking about. Like,
oh yeah, everybody
place was,
knows because there's a bunch of mobs in that area
yes,
that will just pull all kinds of nonsense.
yes,
But
because that
but that's what I'm saying. Like you said, it's not. If I wanted to, if I enjoyed Elden Ring, I could take my time. I could explore. I could find all the little things. But my problem with that world is ultimately I don't find it interesting. Like I find it boring. So I lasted, like you said, about a couple hours. I gave it the old college try, as they say, and but I'm also like I always tell people like one of the more important things, right? And we see this recently, right? I know you didn't even have all these topics, and we haven't even gotten to what you're
we
playing,
haven't even
but
gotten to the actual
but
topics.
yeah, but this is why I'm awesome as a guest because we just making topics out of nothing.
We just making
Um,
topics out of air. Just
Yeah, but this is a good example, right?
it
So
is.
recently, right, we kept seeing gaming that tweet that went viral. Is it me or is gaming dead, right? And it's like, but the person is like, number one, he states, I feel like I can't find anything that makes me want to log in every day. Number one, you should not be basing your gaming on something making you feel like you want to log in every day. That number one, that's weird. Gaming literally has a massive variety of things to play, you know, that is all over the place, that has so much variety, so much, expansiveness, and you're stuck playing one thing. That's like somebody asking, are movies dead? But they've been watching Armageddon since the 90s every day. And then they're finally kind of tired of Armageddon, and they're like, "Is it me, guys, or are movies dead?" Like, are you for real right now?
Hey, now wait a second. You be quiet, because you just described how I feel about TV. I haven't seen a new TV series in like 8 years, and I just watched like How I Met Your Mother, Friends, Big Bang Theory. Like that's
But you see, if you're enjoying those things though, that's fine. The problem with what happens, right, is when these people come out of their corner and they're no longer enjoying that one thing, and then they're lost because they've never actually really been a gamer. They're a fan of a game. They're not a gamer in the traditional sense. But when they complain about gaming, they complain about gaming as a whole, but that's not what they're a fan of. It's like I know a girl that used to work at Circle K down the street from me. She built an entire computer
it's.
just to play World of Warcraft.
I was
She
just
does
about to
not
say
play anything else, bro.
it's
Nothing, literally nothing else.
well,
She
and
don't play Candy Crush. She don't play nothing. She has only ever played World of Warcraft, and that is all she played. And she was ready to drop 2 grand on a new rig just to play that game, and that's fine. But when you come out of that drug addiction, don't be complaining. When you come out the other side and you need, World of Warcraft Anonymous, to get off of that stuff, and then you're like, if you don't basically, then they feel some type of way if they don't find
mm,
something else to gravitate towards
yeah,
in gaming, like that one thing they used to have. And it's like,
mm,
well, you were doing it wrong to begin with.
sure.
And I was like, you don't wake up every day and eat tacos, do you? Like, you could, right?
About to
But
say
you
my fat ass
don't.
could try to eat tacos every day. I think I can make that work. Because
But I
that's
mean,
wide
but
and
see,
that's not
but I
specific.
already
I
know
can.
you thinking about a variety of
I
tacos,
am. I'm
right?
thinking about breakfast
Yeah. So
tacos, chicken
yeah,
tacos, shrimp tacos. Like I'm never getting bored with this. I promise.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, see, you already thinking in variety, right? This person is waking up every day for the last 10 years and eating beef tacos,
Oh, that's true.
literally
That's true.
every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they're like, I love this. And then they woke up 15 years later and they go, I hate this. Is it me, guys, or is food dead? And it's like, what?
Has food
Like,
lost its flavor?
yeah, like, well, I mean, I don't know. Your stomach lining is probably destroyed because you've been eating one thing and your nutrition is, basically somewhere in the gutter, because, you've been eating beef tacos every day.
mm.
So it's like, again, if you apply the logic that people apply who come up with these nonsensical stories, right? Who ask these stupid questions, which, by the way, that person retracted their statement after they got dragged, from here to Kansas, because they stated all of gaming, when they originally made the statement, and they go, oh, I just meant multiplayer, guys. And it was like, even if you were talking just multiplayer,
You're
you're
still
still
wrong.
full of it. Yeah, you're still wrong because you're only playing League of Legends.
Right.
And it's like, what do you expect to happen when you no longer like League of Legends?
Remember those
You
folks that said, and I was one of them. I'll laugh at myself from last year that the multiplayer market was overly saturated and game
yeah,
nobody wanted that anymore. And then
yeah.
what? Marvel Rivals, Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, and I'm like, okay, never mind. I'll go sit back in a corner on that one. Like,
But you're still not wrong though, right? So like as well as Arc Raiders is doing, right? I still know a number of people who were riding high on Arc Raiders week 2, 3, and they
hmm
quit already.
that's me. I deleted that shit. It's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. So it's like as
Worst forty
many
dollars I ever
people,
spent.
yeah, that stuff's going on. People are already talking about, the lack of new content, because that's the problem with those games. If you, and I know this, like I'm not, this is the difference with me and these people who just play multiplayer. I've been on both sides of the fence.
hmm
I got 6K plus hours in Destiny. You know what I'm saying? I've been
Woohoo!
about that
Shit,
life.
really?
Yeah, I've been
Damn.
a flawless raider a billion times at this point. I was a god on that game, so trust me, I've been that guy. Number one on the PvP, number one on PvP, going crazy. Like I've been all that stuff. But it would Destiny or whatever. Even when Destiny was my primary, it was never my only. And that's the problem for a lot of these people when they get, it goes, oh, Arc Raiders is so good, it's so good, and then they overly consume it and go crazy, and then like you get to the point where there's never going to be enough content, right? Like they can't keep up with the content expansion for the game, for the appetite for what you want, because it's the only
Yeah.
game you're playing now. And
Yeah.
that's basically what happened. You get this weird content creep, and then the game starts doing one of two things, and it usually does the main thing, which is they cater to a specific user base
Yep.
of that game, and then you just piss off everybody else who plays the game that doesn't like playing your game that way.
That's why I
And
left
that's
Ark.
basically, yeah, that's basically where you saw that decline, when you saw that. I mean, I quit Destiny right before there was like a major fall off, and I knew I was right. I felt it, I could see it. They couldn't keep up with the content was boring. A lot of the guns were just reskins of the same guns. It's like, oh, this is that gun, but it has leaves on it, on top of it. Like I know that sounds like I'm joking, but I'm dead serious. It was literally the same gun, and they threw some garnish on top of it and was like, "Hey, this is the new super duper purple gun,"
it's
And I was like, "Are you for real?"
it's like back in
Like,
the old days when the ice sword was blue, the fire sword
yeah,
was red, but it looked just like the ice sword, just a
it
different
looked
color.
just like the ice sword, exactly.
Oh, look, I have an ice sword. How do you know? It's blue. It's-
Yeah. And this isn't a shot to somebody who enjoys these games, right? My point is that companies ultimately always underestimate the amount that it takes to keep up with the demand, right? And realistically, one of the only companies I've seen really be able to keep up with the demand consistently has been Fortnite.
Hmm.
So whether you love it, whether you hate it, the fact that however many billions of people Epic has working on that game, bro, they put out some of the most epic content I have ever seen, almost weekly. They're putting out like full events in like a week, and I'm like, I didn't even know it was happening. And it's like, oh, they're like, oh yeah, this happened, and then like they had the Megazord when the Megazord
Is
was
it
in there,
still a battle
and
royale?
yeah, it is
I
at its core, it's still there, but they've made a bunch of smart decisions, right? And this is why I said
Well, because I know
the
people who
biggest,
don't
the
even
smartest
play
thing
the
they
battle
did.
royale, and that's all they still play is Fortnite. But they're like, no, I don't even play the battle royale. Like what? What?
Oh yeah, I mean you can play, so a lot. I mean a lot of kids, they'll get into the custom zones, the custom stuff, where you can just do a bunch of crazy stuff like drive around, or uh just shoot each other in like really small arenas. I mean, it literally has anything you want to do. It's basically it's like a better curated Roblox in that regard. Like if
Huh.
you want to get into like the custom content, but when I play, I purely play the battle royale. But even that, right? They managed to not pigeonhole themselves to catering to one user. So you still have the cranking 90s, and kids that are probably on Adderall, spinning around in circles, going crazy, building towers, and shooting each other. But then there's also, they were smart, and they realized there's a large part of our player base that don't like that crap, and they just want to shoot each other. And that's when Zero Build came out, and Zero Build is the only real reason I still even play. So I just play Zero Build, or I get in and do my dailies in one of my custom maps that I have saved. I get in, it takes me about 15 minutes to do my daily, and I hop out. Like, but the game is just fun. They're constantly, the other thing, when they do collabs and they do other things that they put in the game, they're constantly remaining relevant, right? Whether it's, the Fallout gear that they put out, um they had the Simpsons, they have, uh
Wasn't Eminem in the game?
yeah, Eminem was in the
That's
game,
what I
and then
thought.
he had a whole concert in the game.
Yeah.
Like, and it was crazy, and he was like larger than the
He was like
map, and
Godzilla,
like,
wasn't he?
yeah, he was like Godzilla, bro.
Yeah.
Like that was the, like you were like on shrooms and didn't even know it. Like it was crazy. But
Next, they
like
just
that's
got to
what I'm
get T
saying.
Swift
And
in the
then
game.
they'll
They gotta.
yeah, they'll go from Eminem to like a carnival scene, to then Power Rangers and the Megazord, and then like it's literally just craziness all the time, but the core gameplay and core elements never suffered, and you can still just play the core elements. And if your kids want to go crazy and they just want to play all the custom stuff, they could do that too. Like but again, it takes so many people to run and build that game that I don't even know how big the team is for Fortnite at this point. But they can put out content that takes, like, it takes some other teams, like the Destiny team, it takes them 6 months to a year to put out the same content that Fortnite could put out in like 2 to 3 weeks. How do they do it? I couldn't tell you, but they do.
Oh, and Nate, give me a number. What do you think?
What's up?
Give me a number. I want to know what you think. This is okay. So I just typed in how big is the dev team for Fortnite. Give me a number, and we're gonna include external creators.
Ooh, Lord. 600.
Bro. Okay, so a core of hundreds, involving hundreds of core Epic Games employees plus tens of thousands external creators. The number rose to 70,000 in 2024.
Jesus.
Just, God dang.
Oh my God.
Holy crap.
Like, bro, I told you whatever was going on behind the scenes, it was crazy because they put out content like you would not believe.
Wow. Oh, and now there are. Epic Games has 4,300 employees worldwide, and back in 18 it was a 700 person team at Epic, and so you can only imagine how much that team is now. It's probably most of that 4,000 employees.
Yeah.
Golly, shit! Is that bigger than the Call of Duty team? It would have to be, wouldn't it?
I think it might be. So I'm gonna say yes, because I think some of those teams are about 150 to 200, and there's like 3 teams. So at most, I would say the Call of Duty team, if you're considering all of them are internal, might be like 400 to 500. So yeah, I mean, I would think it's actually bigger than them, and if it wasn't, it's definitely bigger now.
Yeah, in 2022, it says about 3,000 people were working on it. The Call of Duty series in total.
3,000.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, if you include all of the 70,000, then yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's how many people worked on it.
So they're much bigger.
Still, that's insane. We have Hero Down Under, member for 18 months. I will risk some game, but I won't buy and play a game anymore just for the hype. Multiplayer is a choice of that time that I can't easily afford. Absolutely, dude. I get it, man.
Yeah, I agree.
When I was slow rolling back after I got back to work from my back injury, which was fucking bullshit, but like that whole thing was just awful. But when I got back to work, I was kind of slow rolled a little bit, and that's when I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I was doing a lot of live streams and a lot of stuff like that. So I was kind of digging the whole multiplayer thing because I didn't have anything else to do. And now that I'm back at work, back doing stuff, back working with my family and all of that, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for that. I can't go do my dailies. That's not what multiplayer games used to be about. They didn't used to be about going in and having to do your dailies to get the pass and do the thing and blah, blah, blah. You should just log in, shoot some people, play as a couple dead presidents, kill some zombies, and say goodnight to your buddies. And so, like, it's way more of an investment now because to get what you can out of a game without putting money into it, you have to put a lot of time into it. And more than I want to afford on any one title. But that did give us, yeah. And it sucks too because I do think Battlefield 6 is a great game. It is a blast. I still have it downloaded because I do have ideas of grandeur of being able to hop back in it one day and not feel like I've missed everything else. How dare 100 small teams not pumping content like Fortnite? They are just a bunch of lazy.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing, right? Whether you're going hard or not, the perspective though of the
Yeah,
user is that you're not putting out enough content. So, like I
correct.
said, think about how successful Arc Raiders is right now. But I'm still aware that largely their content structure, nothing has really happened in the game yet. So as successful as it's been, the game is largely still the game that launched originally, and that's kind of the problem. Is it's like there? You mean there's no special events yet? There's no a bunch of other stuff that I was hearing about raids and all this other stuff that was supposed to happen. So all this stuff is taking too long. The longer you take in a live service title, the that team, those people get bored and they either move on or they do what? They go back to the game that they played before.
Yep.
And that
You
and that's what happens.
you just became a side chick because you weren't reliable.
Exactly.
That's it. And the thing is you can look at those other games and go, well, that game hasn't innovated in 20 years. What the hell are you doing? Why would you go back to that? At least this one is still fresh. It's only been out for a few months. And at some point, you just play it because that's what you know and that's what you're comfortable with. What's really funny.
And that's the thing, right? You just said that game was the side chick, right? And
Yeah.
what do all the side chicks eventually find out? Well, he's not gonna leave his wife, right? Like that. I mean, we see
Touche.
that on Twitter
Touche.
all the time. We see that on Twitter all the time, and it's like, oh, you were fun for a couple weeks
We
or
got different
a couple
timelines, sir.
months or whatever. I mean, yeah, I mean, I see it on my timeline, but occasionally, not all the time.
Yeah.
That's the for you section, not my regular timeline. Yeah, the for you section is crazy.
I
It's the
don't hang
wildness
out
out
there. It
there.
could get wild in that shit. I'm
Yeah,
not there.
yeah, you don't really want to scroll the for you section in public because you never know what's going to show up.
Dude.
Um,
Listen. There's been some pretty wild shit that's on X.
hasn't it?
It's like on the for you section, some of the AI things that are on there are pretty funny though. It was
Yeah, there's been a lot of that.
did you see the new one where they have like the new software that lets you basically it records you but it displays like another person?
You mean the one that can basically make you look like a hot chick?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, this dude was a hot Latino chick. He was a hot black girl. He was a hot white girl. He
Yeah.
literally changed it to look like any type of race and whatever. It was like his general facial structure just restructured to look like a girl. Like it was crazy.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah,
That's
which was crazy because he was talking and waving and doing. I was like, oh God. I was like, this is the next level of social engineering. I was like, oh God, so many people are about to get got.
Man. I'm out. I'm out. I
Yeah,
already didn't do anything like that anyways. But fuck it, I'm completely out. From now on, if I don't know you, and like, I don't know, guest on the podcast gonna have to go through some sort of verification process. I don't really
right.
know. Like, shit. Lord help, man.
I mean, dude. I mean, people have been messing around with stuff forever. We jokingly had a moment where so like, I mean, I'm not gonna hold you. I took advantage of it. Uh, we were playing it. We were playing a random MMO that came out, and I was playing a girl character, and this person thought I was a girl, and I just let it happen. I was like, because they thought I was a girl, they like helped us do a bunch of stuff. And I was like, look, I'm not about to turn down all this free help. Like these people were like way higher level. They brought like their whole guild and walked us through like the raid and did all this other stuff. I never said I was a girl. They insinuated that they thought I was a girl. And I was like, I just didn't say I wasn't. I just was like, all right,
Uh,
cool. I was like, hey, look, man, I was getting preferential treatment because this person thought I was a girl, and I just let it happen. I was like, all right, cool. You know, I
I'm
mean, we
getting
joked about it
pampered.
and laughed
I'm
about
getting
it.
drinks. Y'all leave me the frick alone, all right?
Yeah,
Just mind your
basically.
business.
Yeah, I was like, oh, so this is what it feels to live like the other half, huh? You just get everything for free, and they bring
Yup.
the whole guild to run you through raids, and I was like, oh man, this is nice. You just coasting.
Hey, listen. If I looked a whole lot better, I'd probably have a lot more subs. Let's just say
Hey,
that.
look, hey, look, looking good works. Looking crazy good works for dudes too. Trust me.
That's true.
Like, I mean, like I said, I know you're not into the nonsense, and I try to stay out of it, but it comes across my timeline one way or another because I do follow like Dick Serto and stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
they do get caught up in the drama, the streamer drama. But one of the dudes in like that whole community, I mean, he basically looks like a model, and he's like, he's basically the biggest hoe between here in Kazakhstan. Like, I mean, and all the girls know it, but none of them care because he looks like a model. So
Uh,
I mean, it works for dudes too.
I
Like,
guess.
yeah, if you look like, you know,
I
the
never look like a model,
quintessential,
so it
yeah, if you
does.
look like the quintessential model dude, you're that dreamy 6'3" or whatever. I don't even know how tall this person is, to be honest. But I mean, I've seen the reaction that some women who are like nines and tens have to this dude when they like meet him. They're like, "Oh my God, I had to meet you, and I just didn't know you were real." And it's like, yeah, so it works. Yeah, bro, I'm telling you,
Is it like the
I'm telling
mugshot
you.
with that black dude that had the like powder blue eyes?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, no, that's a good example for guys. A lot of the times,
Yeah.
where you get women is the eyes. Like
Yeah.
there's I've seen that whole thing where like there's a whole skit on YouTube where guys just try to riz girls up, and most of them have contacts in, so your
Mm,
eyes get like that
that's
piercing blue
funny.
or that piercing green, and girls just go crazy for that stuff. Like it's crazy. It changes the whole vibe.
That's funny. You don't need to be
But
beautiful. You just need a huge head like Reef. Rachie, why was that the one comment from chat that I freaking read out loud tonight? What the shit, bro? You're setting me up, man. I don't fuck with nobody. I keep my ass in my chair at my desk. I don't mess with nobody else. I don't save nothing. You're getting me in trouble. Okay. I keep my head down, my mouth shut, and talk about video games. That's all I do. In the near future, there will be $40 huge AI open world games, while you can still buy the 100% organically developed games with bugs and imperfection for 140. You know, I hate to say you're wrong, but I don't know if you are. I did find it.
I think it'll be more of a hybrid than anything. I mean, I think yes, somebody will eventually try to do the fully thing because well, capitalism, right? They're always trying to get over on you.
Well,
But
sure.
yeah, I think what'll happen is the devs will still thrive in the correct environment, and these tools will be utilized to make things easier, right? Like my issue with the whole conversation with AI, right? Like AI is trash right now. Like there's a bunch of reasons why it's trash. But one of the main things that people keep forgetting is people keep asking for things to get done better, done bigger, and then done faster. You can't do those things by using the same tools.
That's
Like you
true.
just can't. Like one of the main things that I seen was a big criticism was I found this super weird for the record, right? But one of the biggest criticisms for Expedition 33 was that it wasn't in like a specific language. And then like it was like I'm just talking about like subtitles.
What?
So it wasn't subtitled in a specific language.
Oh,
And then and then
okay.
they basically complained because Vietnamese came out first or something, like the Vietnamese subtitles. And I was like, okay, so
Hang on, hang
the
on, hang on,
complication.
hold the fuck up. That was we're gonna
Yeah,
pause you there for a second because I can't
sure.
speed past that. Like you didn't say what you just said. Somebody was
What?
pissed off that somebody else got a translation before them.
Yes.
Like I get it, and I'm privileged, and I understand. I live in America. We always get a train. Actually, that's fucking not true. You know what? No, that's not true. We don't always get one. Good
Yeah,
example.
we don't always get one.
You can go play Sword and Fairy 7 Together Forever. That damn thing is not in English, no way, shape, or form. It's in French. It's in Portuguese. It's not in English.
Not in English.
And that would be just like me being pissed off at those devs going, well, why the hell are they going to release a game over here and not give it to... Like, come on, man. Like...
I mean, we have a ton of foreign films on Netflix that don't have translations.
Shit. Crunchyroll. I bet that asshole watches anime, doesn't he? Anyways,
Yeah,
sorry.
they do.
I'm just...
Well, no, I get what they were trying to say, but they're not considering all the complications with the translation, right? So for them, their thing was they were upset because the devs stated that they were working on a translation for Arabic, right? And Arabic is like at the time was like the fourth or fifth most spoken language or something. And I was like, well, that doesn't matter what it's rated as the number language, it still has to go through proper translation, right? And then the other thing you got to remember, and when you're translating in different languages, you're translating for a region most of the time. So you're considering that primary region. So there's certain things that might be said in the game that have to not only be translated, but might have to be rewritten. So it's not a direct translation. Like in English,
Sure.
they don't care. You can translate the craziest thing on the planet into English, and we do not care. So you don't gotta worry about nothing translating stuff into English. Go crazy.
Just put the
In
M
fact,
logo on that thing and move along.
yeah, like just long as it's in English, like we don't care.
Yeah.
And then the other complication, right, with that, right? So because I was asking a friend of mine who lives overseas, right, and he speaks Arabic and stuff, and so because I got to asking him, I was like, is this a really big issue? Like, would this is bother you? And he was like, personally, he goes, he's like, personally, I prefer to play in English. So he lives over there, but he prefers to play in English. He prefers to subtitles in English and the whole thing. But we got into conversating, so I was like, do you want a translation not only in text, but do you expect like a voiceover? Because I was like, that's super unrealistic to me, because number one, you'd have to find voice actors for every role in a completely voiced game in that language, and he actually said no, because he said a lot of the games that do have translations or voiceovers for games is actually terrible
Huh.
in Arabic. So he's like, he'd rather them not do that and only do the text translations. So now one of the main things that's being utilized in AI, right, to speed up game releases is translation for text, because some of these games have thousands of lines of dialogue, and it takes these companies who are paid to do the dialogue translation forever to do them. But again, people want simultaneous worldwide releases, and they want it in every language. And then the moment you don't have it in their language, they're freaking out.
Mm.
I've seen Portuguese get complained about all the time. Portuguese people are always complaining that it's not in Portuguese. Like, I see that all the time for Brazil and so on. And they're like, oh, if it was in Portuguese, I'd buy it. Whether or not they're lying, I mean, I don't know. But again, people want everything day one. So it's like, well, you can't do that relying on traditional tools to translate your game, especially when your game, a game like Battlefield or whatever doesn't have that many lines, right? But imagine translating something like the 100-line Defense Academy. That thing has 100 endings, bro. And it's literally all written dialogue. So tell me, how long do you think it would take a company to imagine you had to hire a company to translate into every single language? Yeah, see? Raichi's saying he waited 18 months for Sea of Stars French Canadian translation.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad they did it though.
But no, but like, you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, look at how long it takes humans to do the translation, like from a game, because that game, has a considerable amount of dialogue that needs to be
Mm-hmm.
translated, right? Then not only is it need to be translated, but certain things don't translate, right? Like I can't tell you how many times as a fan of anime I get told there's certain things that you won't get. Like there's certain things that we've noticed from watching anime that we know is like it's a very Japanese thing to do, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's just a thing that Japanese people do. You know, one of the everybody has seen a moment in Japanese anime where the character is just like, they might put their hand in front of their face back and forth, and they're like yada yada, and it's like it doesn't really. It's more of it's a mannerism more than it's a
Mm-hmm.
direct translation. So how are you going to translate that into English, right? One of the big things about Naruto, right? He says "daktebeo" all the time, right? In Japanese, but "daktebeo" isn't actually a word. So, but regardless, they had to translate it into something because he says it so often. And in English, he says "believe it" all the time. That's how they ended up translating that.
Oh. Huh, that's
So,
funny.
like little stuff like that. There's
So
a
my
lot of
son has
nuance to
actually
it.
started watching Naruto. He
Yeah.
is done with season 1, just starting season 2. Because we did our evaluation of our subservices,
Hmm.
and we canceled Paramount Plus and Peacock, and ended up picking up Netflix because we haven't had Netflix for several years. And
Yeah.
so he's watching Naruto now because they have Crunchyroll doesn't have the dubbed version; it only has sub because Netflix has the dub, which
Yeah.
is
That is
stupid as
really weird.
shit.
That's super weird.
It's super annoying.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm gonna be
it's
honest with you. This is why underground sites are always beating the brakes off of paid services because they split up too much of the stuff. Like imagine having to get a different one because you want to watch it in dub.
oh, I know.
But
Uh huh.
I got an underground site right now. They have it. It would look no different than Netflix. They show your tracking history about what you've watched. They hold up to 100 of the last animes you've watched. And it saves it in the exact place you watched, and there's a skip intro button. So imagine, and it has every anime on the planet, including ones that no subservice has. Now you see why underground sites are always beating the brakes off these companies? That's why.
I know why they are. It is still ethically and morally wrong, but that is a different topic for a different time.
It is. It is. It became Dragon Ball anyway. Richie funny.
Wait, what? Well, after season 1, I don't
And
know.
like the one thing I'll give Naruto, at least they didn't scream for 6 episodes, while powering up for a fight. I gotta give them that at least.
Listen, that was like they must have gone to Toriyama and said, "Hey, we are going to take this over to the U.S. later. We need filler because their episodes are X amount of time, and we don't have enough dialogue. What do we do? Shit, make them scream for 6 minutes. That's. But draw it from
Bro,
different angles so it looks cool as shit.
from different angles, bro.
Yeah.
Just occasionally come back, do a flashback, and then occasionally come back, and he'll still be screaming, and then eventually on the 6th episode, he'll finally transform, and the fight will start on the 7th episode.
Oh, dude, the Cell Saga with Gohan, Teen Gohan, up on the cliff, doing the final Kamehameha with a broken arm, busted up, bleeding. His fucking walk to the edge was damn near a whole episode. Like,
A
it
whole
wasn't even
episode,
standing
bro.
up, wasn't even like powering up. He was walking, he was standing up, and walking to the edge. And it was damn near a whole episode. I'm like,
Yep.
shit.
As soon as you thought you were gonna get that fight that week, it was like next time on
The
Dragon Ball Z, and you were like, really, really? I just sat through all that, and I got no payoff. no payoff. I gotta wait till next week. Are you for real? Like,
It was the
yeah,
worst case of edging ever. Like,
bro,
just
so bad.
there's no payoff. And then finally, when the payoff happened, so hey, shit, we got 17 people in here. Hey guys, hit the like button. Thank y'all for coming out. Uh, I remember watching it, and it was after the Cell Saga, so we were going into Boo. And during the Cell Saga, every time the asshole died, there was always some way, somehow, that he came back.
Every time, bro.
So
Every time.
when we get to Boo, and what's fucked up is he comes back in Super, and so he's actually still not fully dead. This is some bullshit. Anyways,
Bro,
we
that man can survive a nuclear blast with ease.
we freaking we get to Majin Buu, and they kill him, and I'm like, okay, cool, he's coming back. Sure enough, he comes back. Then they're like, oh, we kill him. Like, okay, not yet. He comes back. Then they split him, where you have uh, Kid Boo and Angry Boo, as I call him. Then they merge those, and then he dies again and dies again. And I'm like, man, I'm not saying y'all drag this stuff out, but y'all dragging this shit out. Like, I never even. It took me like probably another year or so after the Boo saga to actually find the syndicated episodes of the World Tournament, because I stopped watching after Boo. I was like, I can't do another one. I can't. I can't. I can't do another one.
You want to know? You want to know something? Something that's actually funny though is largely most newer anime watchers don't actually watch Dragon Ball.
Oh, I
Ironically.
believe it.
Yeah, and I was like, I was having that conversation the other day with somebody, and I was like, you know who all likes Dragon Ball is all of us that were forced to watch it when we were growing up because that was the only access to anime we had. I was like, so we're all like, super Dragon Ball fans.
Hmm.
And then you can even tell that like later the fan base starts to fragment because you have people who like really love Super and kept watching it, and then there's whatever happened after Super, which I forget, like
Uh,
I or
there.
whatever. Yeah, and then more people split off from the fan base, and it's like so like
No,
even
so
Dragon Ball
there's.
fans are fragmented.
Well, so we got Dragon Ball fans got fragmented when Dragon Ball GT came out. Akira Toriyama did not do that, and it wasn't, there was something where he wasn't part of it, but they got to use the IP, and then they kind of sort of made it canon later on, kind of merged it all back in. But I remember that being a big deal because it wasn't canon. And so you had those of us like me who were like, I didn't watch GT. Still to this day, I haven't watched GT, and I never plan to. It wasn't part of the original canon, therefore, kiss my ass. You can stay over there on left field. The Then going into Super, I think they fixed a lot of things from Dragon Ball Z going into Super, because
Yeah,
Super was extremely, extremely good. Like, it is one of the only times that I ever looked up the Japanese episodes because Crunchyroll was like a month behind getting the dubs, and so and even Crunchyroll was even a month behind on getting the last two episodes. It was real weird. Like, you could watch everything up until the last two episodes, and so
yeah,
I watched two of them on YouTube because there were a couple places on YouTube that had them, and you could go and watch them there. But they were Japanese, no English, no nothing. And so I'm like, well, shit. I guess I'm listening to this. So I had to hear Goku's voice in a different voice, which really fucking threw me off. But I had to know what happened.
understandable.
Like, I was there. I had to know what happened. And so, anyways, Super was awesome in my opinion, and Dayama Dama, Dragon Ball Dama was okay. It doesn't have the same secret sauce. It just doesn't. It turns them all into kids. It's the timeline between Super and Z. It's that 10-year gap. So they had it set up to where they could have done 10 seasons, But I don't see Dama really catching on and going further. Anyways, shit, we're here talking about video games. I promise. Uh,
I mean, there's a strong correlation between the two, so it's understandable.
there really is. And hell, we got on here because of art style, and no, we got on here because of the people who only play one thing for their whole life, and that's it. It's like me. I watch Dragon Ball Z. I watch Avatar. I can't look at people and go, man, anime's dead because we haven't gotten Avatar or Dragon Ball Z in a long time. Like,
Exactly.
this is dumb as shit. That's a dumb statement. It's not dead. It's just I have a tie to a couple pieces of that medium. And those are what I like. And so, yeah. Anyways. Okay, so let's dive into the very first topic of the show.
Understandable.
Jesus. All right, so very first topic of the show. Actually, we're going to kind of rapid fire some of these because some of these are just real quick, get in, get out. Oh, that's really cool. Star Trek Voyager has a new game. Okay? I found this today. I had to bring it up because I'm a huge Star Trek Voyager fan.
Yeah,
And
same. Star Trek Voyager is my jam, so I don't
it
blame
really,
you.
dude, this game looks like shit, bro. It looks so bad.
Yeah, this game looks terrible,
It looks so bad. But
but it does make me want to watch Voyager again because Captain Janeway
Hi,
all day.
I am Tim
Yes.
from Gaming Site, working as a game
But
designer on the space
the
combat
game
of Star Trek
looks
Voyager.
awful. They do a deep dive into the combat, and I really wish they wouldn't have, because I'm like, man, let's leave something to the imagination, because this is very strange. It's on sale right now. You can pre-order it for $33.99. There is also a demo out that, yes, it is taking up space on my PS5 Pro, because I'm gonna check it out after this. Nate, are you gonna check this out? It says you get 5 new missions, 2 recruitable heroes, and 3 technologies in the deluxe edition.
I'll probably let it breathe for a minute and see how it really plays out. You know, I'm sure I know someone who will probably play it because they played like the last 3 Star Trek games that came out, so I'm pretty sure they'll play this one. And
Okay.
then I'll see what they say, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. I've
Yeah.
tried a couple of the Star Wars games. There was one, I think it was on the PS3 that, or maybe it was the 4 that put you like you were actually on a ship and like you could walk around and like it was something like that. And then I played a mobile game where you're trying to collect all the characters and send them out on missions, and it's your basic idle game. Uh,
Yeah.
that one was kind of fun, but the monetization in that got wicked real fast. Like you're going along through the tutorial, everything's going great, it's a fun time, it's going amazing, and then all of a sudden everything ramps up. You can't complete anything. You got nothing else you can do because your heroes aren't strong enough, and there's literally nothing you can do except buy more heroes to level them up, or keep grinding the same few missions to be able to buy a couple heroes a day just to level them up. So I stopped playing.
Yeah, that would be annoying.
Oh, it was such a good game though. The way they had it set up, man. If I didn't have a problem giving $100 a week to a game, I I would have. But there's something in me. I just can't give money to live service games on that level. I have,
So
just not there. Anyways, so yeah, Star Trek Voyager coming out. Check it out. There is a demo. Like I said, I'm probably going to end up playing this. Hell, I might stream this. We might stream the first 30 minutes until I bang my head up against a wall and pass out. But
I mean, it at least looks a little strategic in the combat,
doesn't it?
which is definitely my jam. So
And
I'm not going to knock it just yet.
oh, they have Felix in there. Oh, that's sick. Felix is the chef. He's my favorite.
Yo, but okay. Side note, right? Because I see we got a couple Star Trek fans in the
Yeah, we
chat.
do.
And we're both Voyager fans, right?
Yep.
Okay. I would obviously everybody's too old for this, but I was young obviously when I was watching Star Trek, Voyager. I was staying up, I was supposed to go to bed at 10 o'clock and I would always close my door and act like I was going to bed, but Star Trek Voyager would come on at 10, so I would just stay up till 11
10 on
because there's
UPN.
no, yeah, exactly, on UPN 28.
On
There was no
UPN.
way I
It
was
was
missing that.
21 for me, but yeah.
It was 21. Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
different depending on what state you were in,
Depending on
which
what
is all
state,
I
yeah,
always
yeah.
found that weird. But the place was the same, so UPN. But um, but bro, I need like an adult version of Star Trek Voyager because the sexual tension on that ship was killing me, bro. Like the amount of times they definitely wanted to get it on with each other on that ship, but they just didn't because it's a PG show was killing me.
Yeah.
Like I was like, bro, Seven of Nine is still like the sexiest person to ever be on a Star Trek show, ever. And I was like, bro, I would have been knocking that down the entire time we were missing.
Well, towards
Like,
the end, Chakotay does.
oh yeah, yeah, Chakotay. I was like, that's when I knew he was the man for real. I was like, yo,
That's my
somebody
boy.
finally got it. I was like, yo, shout out to my man Chakotay. Yo, he survived, bro. He finally got it.
He did. He did. And who else? Balana and Tom ended up working it out, doing really well.
Yeah, they did.
Uh,
Bro, she was hilarious when she was pregnant, bro.
oh,
She
dude.
was hella funny.
The pregnant Balana was great.
Bro, she was hilarious, bro.
It
I
was
mean, she was
so
already
good.
spicy, but she
Yeah.
was like extra spicy when she was pregnant.
Yeah. And I really loved one of my favorite story arcs was the arc with Tom when you find out that he was like a felon and like all this other stuff, and he like snuck in to get into the academy, and then like it's
Hmm.
like, dang, this dude, this dude dang near shouldn't be here.
I mean, essentially, I mean, by the time Voyager got out there, they turned into like they were essentially like a crew of aces that was like never really meant to be together.
Yes.
Like they just happened to all be really good at their job, and like obviously, because Voyager obviously wasn't supposed to be as far out as they were and lost as they were, but like they're basically the merry band of pirates, of Starfleet.
Well, they
Like they just
kind of
all just
were
happen to be
because
really,
even
yeah,
Chakotay, being a Maquis, had a huge blow up at Starfleet and kind of got put on Voyager because they didn't give him a captain spot. We find that out
yeah,
in the series that he doesn't get the captain spot, and they put him on Voyager because of an incident that happened between the Maquis and Starfleet. And so, like, there's this whole like, God, I love that show.
no, I don't blame you. No,
So
I mean, you got to understand, Rachie. She was funnier when she was pregnant, so she was funny already. But then she got like extra snappy when she was pregnant, and like nobody would like give her crap because she was pregnant. So she could just like get away with murder the whole time she was pregnant, and it was
even
just so
Tom,
funny.
which was hilarious. It was almost more funny watching Tom try to interact with her.
Yeah,
like,
he was like scaring her
it's like
like the whole
walking
time.
through a room full of fine glass china dishes. You're like, I'm not moving or breathing. We're fine.
Hmm.
But but no, it does look rough. It looks rough. But it's a video game, and we do like video games. And who the
We
hell
do.
knows? I spent 10 hours last year making fucking coffee on a video game. So, I don't.
Which, speaking of which, that's coming out soon
It
too. So
is. It's coming out. It got delayed to May, didn't it? Or no, it got delayed to
yeah,
March.
or
March.
March. Yeah,
Yep.
it's March.
Because it was supposed to be at the end of 2025, and they delayed it to 2026. That
Yep.
is coming. I still have to finish Tokyo. Tokyo's story did not grab me right off the bat like the first ones did.
Wait, Tokyo's the upcoming one.
Not Tokyo, then Hibiscus Rose.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's I need to let it burn again, like because I need to burn that candle, because I played it. I got through the first couple days, and I was like, man, I'm just not feeling. And maybe it's because I mainlined the previous game between like 3 sessions, and I was done. But no, this Voyager game does look fun, and I probably will end up streaming this. Oh, speaking of that, by the way, tomorrow night I am starting a new series. It's a streaming series. It's going to be called Past the Prologue. This is for those of y'all who have not watched the video that I did today on Need for Speed Unbound. Don't blame a lot of y'all. Most of y'all are hardcore gamers. You've probably already played that game when it came out. And so in there, though, I talked about this new live series that I'll be doing called Past the Prologue. Basically what it is I will get these games off of PlayStation Plus Essential. I will play them past the prologue, and then I will be live streaming the next hour or two of the game with y'all. So that way people can see kind of what it looks like, how it is. Maybe it's a game you're kind of on the fence about, don't really want to waste the time, but you'll watch somebody else waste their time. What's up, El Nini? I will be here to do that for y'all. And yeah, so excited about that. Come by tomorrow night, and we will be starting with Need for Speed Unbound, so you can see just how bad the computer kicks your ass in that game for no apparent reason other than to be a douche canoe. So yeah, that's all that and that segue. Next on the docket. So the new game showcase happened. All 4 hours of it.
Oh, yes, it did.
I fast forwarded through that damn thing because I came in at the 2 hour mark. And I watched the intro and then, or the countdown, and seeing all the people give their opinions on the games, I almost felt like this was not the crowd for me. I was like, okay. Except for the girl on there who was like, any multiplayer game came up, she was like, ick. I was like, okay.
That's actually ironic that you said that, because the person that annoyed me the most was actually the girl.
Oh,
but
never mind.
Yeah, it was her reactions.
Yes.
And like over the top nature to everything. Also,
yes.
In like the first hour, so she's like super small, right? Like she looks like she weighs like 80 pounds, but her legs were like double crossed for like the first hour, and it was driving me crazy. Like, because anybody who knows these people, like I don't really watch any of their content except for like I see Luke occasionally, right? Because he has a more calm, everyday gamer demeanor.
Correct.
That I'm down with. Jake is like I don't know, like the TMZ reporter of gaming. So like again, I don't
Who
even
was
know
the surfer guy on there?
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, the dude with the hat turned backwards and the long hair.
Yeah.
That's Jake. Yeah, he's basically
seemed like he
a
was
TMZ
really
reporter.
intense.
Yeah, he was super intense.
He was super
Yeah.
intense. I was like,
all the
bro.
multiplayer games on there, I promise you, were chosen by him, because that's the type of person he is.
Oh, I could tell. All of them. And I was like,
But
okay.
yeah, but they're all of their content, for the most part, with the exception of the girl, they're all used to sitting in front of a desk, which is also part of the problem. They definitely need a desk whatever talking format they choose next year. They need a desk, because none of them knew what to do with their legs or their hands or whatever. Like, I'm like, they all need a desk in front of them, like IGN. You know, when IGN talks after, like, you know, a show or something, because it was just driving me nuts. Dude on the right looked like he was on 3 pounds of cocaine before, because he, like, his leg would not stop shaking for 4 hours straight, and it was driving me crazy. I was like, bro, can you sit still?
And he probably can't, and he's probably shaking his leg while he's gaming, like. But
Yeah,
we don't see it because he's under a desk.
Because they have the desk, exactly. Yep. So that's why I was like, okay, you guys definitely need a desk. And like I said, I was fair, right? This was their first shot. At it, and I know what they thought the vibe was gonna be, but I was like, part of the problem is, I knew there was some sort of weird issue when they didn't tell us how long it was gonna be, and I'm thinking, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's what I was thinking.
And then when we got to the 2 hour mark, and I was like, okay, I have to go back. I have to go finish whatever I was doing for work, because I was like, I don't know when this is gonna end. And then I came back and found out it barely ended, like 8 minutes shy of the 4 hour mark. I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And like, honestly, Jake was kind of in his feelings on social media later, and I was like, look, dude. Like at first, he was like, yeah, we saw the feedback, and we definitely, knew some of the feedback was coming before it even came, and this, that, and the third, and I was like, look, bro, it wasn't about the content. I felt like y'all chose a lot of really interesting games. The content that was there, I felt was really good and it was strong. Like as far as the games, right? But I don't need every single person's opinion on every single game every 3 games. Like that is what destroyed the whole entire cadence and basically made you lose half your audience while live streaming at like just shy of the 2 hour mark because it was crazy. Like I was like, I don't need to hear this. Like you could tell the host knew it was taking too long and he kept trying to speed it up, but they just wouldn't let him because everybody, again, what Morgan was saying when we were talking about it, you got a bunch of A personality types on a panel and they're all used to being the center of attention on their own channels. So everybody's got to get a word in. And it's like, it was just, the talking segments were atrocious. It drove me crazy in so many different ways. But like I said, I did give it a 5 out of 10. Mainly, I cut it in half because I was like, at least the content I felt like that was there was good. The updates, some of the conversations with the developers,
Those were cool.
yeah, that stuff was cool. I love that stuff. I'm like, look, let the developer go. Let them direct the conversation. They were giving us lots of good information.
It didn't feel marketed. The interviews didn't feel like marketing beats. They felt like actual, like, hey, come on here and gush about your game for a little bit and let us be excited with you.
Exactly. And I definitely got that vibe from some of them, and that part I think is really what they wanted to go for. When they were saying gamers basically getting to be excited about games with the developers, and I'm like, go with that vibe. Cut out the nonsense with all the talking in between, right? And if you're going to talk in between, you need to take the format of like the future game showcase, where they have 2 people that actually have chemistry, that talk for about 30 seconds, and then they show like 5 more trailers. That's what you need to do. And then maybe at the end, you can then go, all right, how did everybody like it? And then you can do like your little IGN segment where after the end, you can analyze your own show, and then you guys can go back and you can go down the list and the docket, and anybody who wants to see that part can then see you guys and talk about it. Because it almost felt like it was too much of them and not enough focus on the games. So, and rightfully so, that people gave that criticism.
There were 2 things I didn't like, and both of them, one of them was solved by the way I watch these anyways, which was fast forwarding through the talking segments because I don't care. I'm there for the games. No offense to the people who put it on. Great people. Woohoo. Thank you. I thought it was really good, the game selections y'all had. A lot of them weren't for me. They were a lot of first-person stuff. But for your first show...
There was a lot of first-person stuff.
Oh my god, there was so much fucking first-person stuff. Anyways, for y'all's first show, thought it was great. And you had some heavy hitters. You had some people on there I was not expecting to see on a very first game show from a few content creators. That was pretty cool. No, but you talked too long. You didn't put the damn tags on whatever game was being shown every single time, which annoyed the shit out of me. Some had them, some didn't. And so as somebody who, this is the part where it's kind of my fault, as somebody who always fast forwards and watches these things just to get to the trailers, I was looking for those as like, oh, hey, we switched games. Because another thing I didn't like is that some of the games looked like all the other games. And it was especially a lot of the first-person ones at the beginning all felt kind of, wait, is this just another level in the same one? Or are we on a different game? Or are we... Let's go... And so I was like, fuck it, it's first-person, I don't care anyways, and I just fast-forwarded. Which is why, when y'all were talking, I was like, I actually thought it wasn't bad. I thought it was like a 7, 7.5. But it's because I fast-forwarded through all the things that made it bad.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, yeah.
And
and
that's nothing
and that's
against
why I
like the
said
people,
content
but
wise,
jeez,
like we both agree, content wise, what they showed
it was all
game
right.
wise was really great. Like I liked, I loved, they showed I think the correct term is volition or something like that. One that I always said was interesting for Morgan because she likes those type of exploration space games where it's also kind of haunting. I always mess up the name of that game, but I'll remember it later. But
It's not Dead Space, is it?
no, no, it's
Okay.
not. Um, I'll pull up the plus showcase. I'll pull up the list of games and I'll get the name right. But for me, well, for all of us, really, like you said, some of the bigger stuff, like because I saw their reaction later, and like Jake was saying, hopefully, you guys understand, that there was no, like, they're not going to give us world premieres, and I'm like, you guys set that expectation before the show,
Yeah, I didn't give a
so
shit
if
about world
anybody,
premieres.
yeah, so I didn't care about that. I came for more information on
Yeah.
the games that we knew were coming. And honestly, I felt like y'all did a solid job when it came to that part. It's just y'all just talked too much in between each segment and it just killed the pacing. Um, but like Blood of the Dawnwalker they had,
Yep.
um, you had oh there you out
Cri-
Aphelion. Aphelion was what I was talking about, is the name of the game. It's where you play. There's two different protagonists, who will probably eventually come together, is the theory, and they're stuck on this planet where basically there's like this alien entity that looks like it's chasing them,
Oh yeah,
or something.
hell no.
Oh yeah, that's a hell no for me. But
Oh, this
Morgan
that's a
Morgan
hell
likes
no
that
from me,
stuff.
dog.
But the big thing for me and the biggest segment by far is the Expanse Osiris Reborn. Now that segment was
Okay,
beautiful.
help me. What is okay? So I've watched some of that segment, and
Hmm.
is this is this an MMO?
No,
Like, because it
it's a single player. It's a single player WRPG, like Western style
okay.
RPG, third person. Um, all the bells and whistles. Closer to almost like a modern Mass Effect, but it's grounded in the reality of the Expanse series.
Okay. See, that's the thing. I don't know what the hell the Expanse series is.
Yeah, so I mean that question came up on our show because Omar doesn't know. Um, and so he was kind of lost. So, okay, to be fair, you can play this game blind
Well, sure.
and just play it. But yeah, your excitement is going to be at a different level. Like we immediately reacted. Me and Weeb immediately went crazy when we heard that you could play a belter or an earther or all these different things because when you've seen the expanse or especially listen to the audiobooks, you understand how significant those things are. Like
Gotcha.
there are different factions between depending on where you were born, and there's a reason for all that stuff. If you were born, in the belt, your frame is completely different because obviously on Earth you grow up under a different gravity, right? So then there's also the Martians and so on and so forth. So there's a bunch of war going on and a bunch of lore, and the fact that they're sticking to a lot of that lore and really bringing it all in is incredible. On top of that, with basically when they introduce, he basically talks about the different classes essentially here where you can play different ways. It was beautiful because they hadn't really shown that off and explained that. They showed it, but they didn't explain it. So in this segment, they got to explain like, hey, like here, you can see the guy kind of being like a tank, and he's coming in with the shield, and he has the auto turret on his shoulder. Then you had another guy who was doing more recon, and he has a drone. Um, and all these different things. Like again, think Mass Effect, but grounded in a already established lore that is the Expanse. Um, yeah, and I agree with Hero. The Expanse is a must watch. Morgan is actually listening to the audiobooks now. And
Oh,
I
that's
listened
cool.
to, yeah, I actually listened to the audiobooks years ago. before the show even came out. So I think I'm like on book 7 or
Okay.
8 of 13. So I did eventually stop, but it's an incredible series. It gets crazy. There's a lot going on in the world. There is a ton of factions. Like they could expand upon this game and the series for, honestly, a trilogy if they really wanted to, or more, because the lore is just that extensive and the amount of things that are going on. One of the things that actually happens, again, this is something you notice as a fan of the series. The ship flipped backwards in that segment when they first showed it in the beginning. That is, again, another thing that the Rocinante actually does. It does a reverse burn when it's docking and stuff like that. So that's a key thing that I know that they're really paying attention to thoroughly and creating this world that people are going to get to
I
experience.
got
And
you.
it's
Okay.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks incredible, bro. So, like I said, you can experience it raw. Like I said, you could just wait for the game to come out and just play, and it just looks incredible as a game. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you're going to get way more out of it if you're already a fan of the Expanse. And as someone who is into Star Trek and stuff,
hmm
you really might dig it.
Well, that's what
So,
I've like. I don't even
yeah.
know when the TV series came out, but I just remember thinking, man, this feels like just a clone of what I already like. And
Hmm.
I was just weird about the Expanse, so and I didn't know until afterwards that it was actually a book series. I had no idea. Morgan
Yep.
1692. Holy crud. If you want to get a feel of the Expanse universe, you can play the Expanse Telltale game or just Hero, just watch the show.
I mean, you could definitely watch the show. The show, the
I like
show they
audiobooks too.
they
I have an
the
Audible account.
show the show they did really well, but in the casting, only one casting drove me crazy, which I eventually got over it. But it drove me crazy because again, I read the book first, so I had a very specific image of how this person looked, and because the series has such a deep fan base, people had drew what this character would look like because she's described in like excruciating detail.
Okay.
And so when they chose the person, as far as what they do in real life, they're an athlete, but their physique didn't match the character, and that drove me crazy because I'm like, I could think of a ton of girls that are really athletic that are built like her that they could have chosen for the role, but I also get they all can't act either, right? And they all maybe weren't available. So I eventually got over it, but that part drove me crazy because she was one of my favorite characters. Um, but yeah, I agree with Morgan. I mean, you could play. I didn't play it because I only started it, but I'm just not a fan of Telltale games, so that's why I didn't play through with it. Because the Expanse is a very dangerous universe, so I already knew that that was gonna go like the Telltale games for Walking Dead, where your choices were gonna be cut off your arm or cut off your leg, and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I hate those choices. So yeah, I would definitely
Do you want
I would
to fall off
personally
a
say do the
cliff
Audible.
or stick it in a meat grinder? Which one do you want?
Yeah,
Those are
exactly. So like that kind of stuff drives me crazy. So yeah, I would do the Audible if anything. I might actually be able to just give you the first book. I think I have it. So I could work that out. So I can give you the first book and you could just start it for free.
on
So
Audible.
it's complicated. I'll explain it.
Fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah. But
Because
yeah,
I
just
listen
know
to a lot
it'll
of
be
R.A.
free 99.
Salvatore. I listen to a lot of R.A. Salvatore on Audible because the same guy reads it and he does fucking perfect. Like I can't think of anybody else as Dritz de Worden or Brita or Breeze Breeza his sister or the Matron Malice. Like I can't in my brain even when I read the paperback books now of it, I hear this guy's voice reading it because he's
But yeah,
just so
when you
freaking
get
good.
when you get an incredible narrator. Bro, I
Mm.
keep trying to tell people that are not into audibles, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to tell you, getting the right audible will change your life. But also tell people it's like anime, right? If you watch the wrong anime and that's the only anime you ever watched and you swear it off, at that point, the
Yeah.
same thing can happen for audiobooks. You could just get a bad audiobook the first time and people
Uh-huh.
are always like, they're always like, I hate audiobooks. And I'm like, what did you listen to? And then, they tell me and I'm like, well, that person's a terrible narrator. So yeah, no wonder you don't like them.
Yeah. My
It's
son just got done listening to a Minecraft book narrated by Jack Black. And I listened
mhm.
to like 10 minutes of it and I was like, damn, he's actually does a really good job. His I guess it's from all of his like voice work that he's done, but
Yeah,
it was really really well done and I was kind of impressed because normally when you hear of a narrator, it's somebody you have never heard of in your life or it was James Earl Jones. that
yeah,
was it. Those were your two options. Okay, so for you, The Expanse kind of stood out the most.
yeah.
Uh,
That was probably the biggest segment. I mean, I like the Dawn Walker too, but honestly, I felt like they didn't really get enough time. Like that game is so big and has so many complex systems that I felt like they were onto it. But then like I don't know, like the girl did the interview for that one, and I felt like she kind of interrupted him at parts where he was about to go in, and she just like cut him off at the knees, and I was like, oh, it just it was killing me. So
Hush.
um, yeah. Yeah, I was like, yo, just be quiet. Like my man was in a monologue right there. Just let him cook. Like you ain't even got to say that. That's the best interview. You ain't even got to say nothing.
It's like
Like
when I have like the good guests like you on here or something like that because I drop the question, I sit back, have fun.
exactly, just good to go.
Just- and I actually like that format because I don't really try to limit what anybody says on here. Uh, but I you've talked up the Expanse, but you missed
Hmm.
you missed my game, and I know you
Okay.
missed my game because it was the only thing that I had to stop and rewind 5 or 10 times in order to figure out what the hell the name of the game was. So I watched the
Understandable.
trailer like 5 times just trying to find the name of the damn game. And it is playing on the screen. It's called Dusk Fade. Yeah, it's a ripoff. Yeah, it's pretty much a cheaper version of Kingdom Hearts. It pretty much is every action platformer from the PS2, PS3 era spit out into a video game. I'm fine with that. If you're fine with that, then we can be friends and buy this game. like, I love those games for a reason, so giving me more of those games is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It just looks. I. It's a little choppy, so I want that to be cleaned up. But overall, the aesthetic of this game also just looks. It's charming. That I don't use that word. I almost never use that word to describe a game, but that's what it looks like. It's very. It's it's very animated, like Saturday morning cartoon almost. Like it just has something about the animation that makes me just really enjoy it. And I know it's going to come out one day that this is all AI, and I'm going to have the biggest egg on my face right now. They're like, yeah, they made that whole game with generative AI, and you talked praise about it. Yeah, well, that might happen. But it looks really good. It's flashy. The colors are there. The characters jumping around on screen, acting ridiculous. You got these big fantastical boss that you're fighting at the beginning. It has me. I'm here and it's not gonna be a full priced game. And if you tell me that's not a Keyblade, I will say you're just trying not to get sued by Disney. But that's okay because once again, I love those games. So it's gonna be awesome. That's my game. I have been looking for more stuff on this. I am excited about it. I hope a demo comes out so I can play a little bit of it. Uh, because it's I don't know why. I don't I saw the trailer and was like, oh, this looks cool. It looks
I
almost like
mean,
a
it gives me PS2 vibes. in a new format. So I mean, I definitely get why you like it.
It's like Kena. Kena was another game that I loved that felt like it was in that same mold of the um, shit. What was I going to say? Of the yep,
Yeah, like that old school vibe.
yeah,
Like
just that
it
old
kind of
school
had that,
vibe.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I was trying to find a different way to describe it, but I couldn't, and my brain like stopped for a second. It's like, wait,
I know you're looking for the perfect way
I
to
was
describe
literally
it, and you're
looking
like,
for the word because
I want to describe it differently than that, but then you're
like
like, no, that's the
that's
best way to describe it.
that's it. That's the
Yeah.
thing. There's no fancy way to put it. It just is. But that was my thing from the show. So when I put in parentheses on here on the show topics, Dusk Fade, it's because that's really what stood out to me as a new title. Uh,
Yeah.
Crimson Desert, I am now to the level of I want to see it in action before I make a decision on it. Like, that's where I'm at with that game because it was super hyped up by people who are in our Discord talking to me about it.
Hmm.
Uh, and I originally had sworn it off because I thought it was just a MMO. It's not. It's a full, complete game.
Yeah.
And
With
I
their own custom engine.
with their own custom engine, but I'm looking at it and something about the I don't know. I'm expecting it to run like shit, and I don't know why I have that feeling about it, but I have a
Oh, so
feeling.
so so am I, which is why I plan to play it on PC.
It's like I'm looking. Okay, so I saw the trailer during the New Game Plus showcase, and I was like, "This looks cool," but it looks like it runs like shit. Like, and so I rewatched it, thinking it might have been my phone or the computer, which I watched it on later. I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe it's not just me. This looks like it's gonna be a performance nightmare." And so hearing you say that makes me feel a whole lot better about myself because I was like, it just, I watched it and y'all can see it on here. It's here. We'll even F11 this thing. We'll give y'all the full screen mode. There you go. So this was all cool. This was fine, but coming up, there's gonna be quite a bit of like the jerkiness of the arms as they're moving was bothersome to me. Like just little shit that I picked up on. Like I don't need it to be perfect. I don't need a game to be perfect. I get that. As a matter of fact, I don't want a game to be perfect because if that happens, then a computer probably made it, and I don't want that. It'll be sterile and yuck. But in like especially in some of these scenes right here, it looks very jittery. It looks very like some of these are combat cuts is what it looks like. And it's just something about this game gives me the heebie-jeebies. Just I don't know. It's a new title. It's from a company that I've never done any kind of gaming with. And so for this one, I'm probably going to have to wait until I see few games are perfect. That is true, Josh. And even the perfect games that people give 10 out of 10s to, we usually give them a 10 out of 10 going, okay, so I know that there's this one thing that kind of stands out as a downside, but honestly, it's not that much of a downside, and everything else just elevates it all the way up. Like, I can't tell you if I've ever given out a 10 out of 10 and not said something like that. To the effect of, if you can get past just this one stupid thing, then the rest of the game is a freaking solid 10 out of 10. That's why I'm giving it that blah, blah, blah. But, like, it's, no game is actually perfect. 10 out of 10 are as perfect as they can be. Exactly. That's what I would go with. Hell, I don't even think I gave Expedition 33 a 10 out of 10. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I felt some type of way about the platforming by the time I was at the end of the game, but I also felt like I still could have gave it a 10 out of 10. So I did give it a 9.5, but it was one of the weirdest 9.5s I've ever given
Yep,
because I
because the
totally
platforming
felt
was
like
ass.
yeah, because I totally felt like I could still give it a 10 out of 10, largely because you can ultimately pretty much complete the game
Hmm.
without really doing all it because I did everything in one playthrough. Um, but
Yeah.
you could ultimately not really have to do that. Like
Nope.
if I played straight through, you know, beat the main bosses and beat the game, I would have done like 2 segments of platforming, which would have been completely unnoticeable. So in that regard, it's definitely a 10 out of 10.
Hey,
But
Nate,
because I did everything, I gave it a 9.5.
I'll tell you a secret. After the first beach you get to, where you have to go across the logs, jump up, and then the thing spins around, and the other thing also is spinning like a gear, and you have to
Yeah.
get yourself over to that. After
Yep.
I got to the second stage of that, after like 45 minutes, I died again, very close to the end, and I said, F it, I'm never touching this again. I did not do a single additional piece of platforming that was not forced upon me by story progression. I didn't do a single one. I didn't get a single outfit change that was tied to them. I didn't get fuck it. That it's like the fast forwarding thing. If if it's if it's a terrible spot, I don't have to do it. So
I mean, I don't even blame you on that,
I
to be
didn't do a
honest.
single bit of it because the platforming was
That one
so
that does
bad.
go up in the sky though, the one that goes way up in the sky, that platforming that everybody falls off of,
Uh huh.
I actually did that in one go, which I thought was hilarious. I was super careful, mind you, but I did it in one go.
Yeah.
And I never felt so much relief. But yeah, the one that you were talking about with the spinning gears, that drove me crazy because you had to do it so fast.
Hmm.
Otherwise your character would just get lost or you would just get dizzy.
Yep.
So
That was
yeah,
my
it
problem. I
drove me
kept getting
crazy.
fucking dizzy, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and it felt like American Ninja Warrior, where you see the pillar
Yes,
coming and
it
you know you're
does.
about to get hit, and it doesn't matter. You try to time it and you still catch it to the face.
Still to the face. Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I was not a fan of the platforming in that game. Everything else, well, platforming in a mini map. I think what they need to do is come out with one final update and go, okay, it's just one thing on the update though, and it's a mini map.
Understandable.
Like the for real Ultimate Edition, they could call it or some shit. Like, I think that would be great. All right, so those are our two games that really stood out from the uh, New Game Plus showcase. And now we're going to get into, and we already talked about the Voyager. Once again, there is a demo. Guys, here's the deal. Jez just did a live stream right before this started, or about 45 minutes before this started. If y'all want to hear about all the Bobby Kotick stuff and all that shit, he covers it really, really well over there. And I was there in the audience. It was great. It was phenomenal. Laugh your ass off. I do not care enough about that shit to bring it up. It's funny, and that's why I put it on there because it's hilarious that Bobby's coming out and like accusing this new lawsuit of being secretly like orchestrated by Embracer. And Embracer came out and was like, listen, we don't need help competing with y'all. Y'all are killing yourself. They didn't say that last part. But essentially, that was kind of the tone you got, or at least I got from what they said. Hey, we don't need
I
your
mean,
help
they are
killing.
beating themselves, so yeah.
Like, we don't need your help, or we don't need the help of AP7 to compete against you. And so I thought that was funny. That was kind of shots fired. The other thing I thought was funny is now Bobby is sitting here and saying, no, guys, all the allegations were fake. They were made up. They didn't happen. Oh, okay. Cool. So that's my level of involvement in this segment because I just don't care. Bobby was a slime ball. He was a slime ball then. He's a slime ball now. And the fact that he was able to convince Satya Nadella to give him $69 billion, I'll never know how he did it. But hey, kudos to the dude. He sold him a sinking ship. That ship is still sinking, and it's not his problem anymore. And he just gets to do interviews like this and constantly rub it in their face like a dog getting his face rubbed in poop after having an accident. Like, it's quite comical. Nate, do you have anything to say on this subject?
I mean, it's just funny to kind of watch Call of Duty take the exact path I knew it would, because they essentially threw all their original design philosophies out the window that made Call of Duty good in the first place, and they've been doing it for years, and they ultimately didn't care because a large portion of the portion of the population were still buying the game regardless of what they did, and now that there's more competition on the market, soaking up their fan base, it's become more noticeable in the beginning of the game. So that's the other thing. They usually get people for like the first 2 months, and you got people going, "Oh my god, this new COD is awesome!" But yeah, that didn't happen this time. So everybody like day one was like, "This COD sucks," and so now they've got this massive drop in player base, and sales potential, and yeah, I mean you're essentially witnessing what we always stated is that Call of Duty one day would just beat itself. Because
Yeah.
I mean that's ultimately what was going to happen. Like, Battlefield 6 doing good is one thing, but I'm here to tell you, as someone who was a major Call of Duty player, like I'm talking like I used to daily. I was a monster in Call of Duty for years.
Dude, I couldn't picture you in that light, and the Destiny stuff you were talking about earlier made my head spin a little bit. I was like, "There's no way, not a Nate,
Yeah,
not a
yeah,
Nate."
yeah. I was deep in the sauce, man. I used to drop 40 and 2 on the regular, bro. I was a monster in PvP.
Dang.
Yeah, yeah. I had some crazy games, bro. I had some games where like my adrenaline would spike because I wouldn't get killed, and like I would be like in a euphoric state from not getting killed, like just being untouchable. Like it was, trust me, my COD days when I was deep in the sauce, bro, and I really got into how to play and the map design and all that stuff, bro. I was ridiculous. Like I versed whole teams where the whole team was, it was six, and I was on a team of randos, and I famously was super mad about one game where I dropped like 52 kills and like died once, and I still lost the game, and that's why me and my friend came up with the slogan BYOT, bring your own team, because no matter how good you are, unless I can score for the entire team faster than my team keeps dying, then it's not gonna matter, bro. I had UAVs, Pavlos, AC-130s. Like, it just didn't matter. Like, I was going ham, and I lost that game because my team was dying faster than I could kill.
That was probably me.
So
Sorry.
yeah, man, it made all the difference, bro. I needed at least, what I always say, I need at least one more person to be competent. But if I had another person who was also as good as me, which a friend of mine who was the one that really taught me how to play, when we played together, we would almost never lose. We famously had a night where we played as a whole team, and we were like, we'll all go to bed when we lose. We eventually just had to go to bed because it was like 6 a.m, and I was like, dude, we're just not gonna lose. Like, we started doing silly stuff just to try and come up with a reason to go to bed. Like we were like, we held a team one time. If you know how domination is played, there is no way you should hold a team to 0 points in domination, because the team starts right in front of the flag of their side, and we rushed their side and threw a bunch of grenades, killed them, and never let them score a single point. That's how ridiculous that team was that we played on. It was insane. So yeah, that's the type of Call of Duty career I had, man, for a long time. But yeah, it started to lose interest for me um, at some point, and like I'm telling you, like whether people want to believe it or not, every single time I start to fall off of a game, it always starts to fall off. Destiny was the same way. I quit right after Witch Queen, and a large part of the player base was already dropping. And then that very next expansion, more dropped. And then that not too long after, that's when that 45% report came out that over 45% of the player base had quit. I'm like, dude, I always know when it's coming.
The report.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like yeah. And by the time you get that report, more people have left
Sure.
than is being reported. So yeah, it's just it's a product of a lot of things, but yeah, man, I'm not surprised at all. They weren't listening to the player base. Like I was telling people, and Morgan can attest to this because Morgan played with me. We played not this Call of Duty, but the last one, just to see, because her sister bought it because her sister likes the campaign. So I was like, you know what, you got it. So let's just try it out. And me and Morgan went ham. We had some really good games, but we were fighting an uphill battle because we both have good internet. But we were on 60 ms ping, which if anybody in here, I wish Henry was in here because he really knows what's up when it comes to that stuff. But a 60 ms ping is basically not ideal for a shooting game. To give you an example, my ping in Fortnite is usually around 14 to like 9 based on my internet. And in Call of Duty, I couldn't get in the game below 60, which is insane. Like
Why is
that's
that?
really high. It's just the way the matchmaking was basically structured. So they prioritize skill-based matchmaking over ping, and so it's trying to match me with people who it thinks is my skill level over my ping. And the problem with that is, well, that person can, it might be prioritizing their location instead. So now I'm versing people who are supposed to be my skill level, but now I'm in a bad server, which is going to create like a worse experience for me. So now even if I have to play my best game, I'm playing with like a 60 millisecond handicap.
Okay.
So like I'll show you at some point if I could find it, but there's an example of like this dude that's playing Call of Duty, and he drops a nuke, but he lives in Texas, like next to the server. So you know what his ping was? It was 3.
Ah, rude.
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. I was like, ping makes a massive difference. Even if you're good, you can't fight what you can't see. And there's a perfect example of this. There was somebody showing the difference between like good ping and bad ping, and basically he shows the little character. So he's playing both characters, right? And he's showing you, hey, this character has good ping and this character has bad ping. So he peaks with the character that has bad ping. So you're out around the corner longer than you think, because to them you appear faster and you stay out longer than you actually are to yourself. Because on your screen you see what's local, and then there's a translation. So that millisecond time, that ping is what the other person sees. Yeah, I live in the future. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. So basically that person sees you in a complete, so if you've ever played a game, and you probably have, like you were saying you played Battlefield not too long ago, but have you ever played a game and you know that you shot first?
Oh, 100%.
Based on your screen.
100%.
But it felt like when the person shot you, they one-shotted you.
Yep. It pisses me the hell off.
Yeah, that is ping. That's what happens when that person has better ping than you do. So they saw you before you saw them, even though on your screen you felt like you shot first.
No. Not felt. On my screen, I know for a fact I shot first. Like,
yeah.
I got through the controller one night. It was happening a lot in Battlefield, and I was pissed because literally I would round a corner, it would be a standoff. I would shoot, my bullets don't do anything. I try to move my gun, bullets still don't do anything, and now I'm waving it around like a damn crazy person trying to shoot this thing, and I'm dead by that point. And so it's, Yeah, that's very fucking annoying. And I just tested. My ping is actually 20 right now, and that's with the stream going, the YouTube going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tasks or 8 windows going on Chrome. Discord is up and running, which Discord will tank the freaking computer real quick. But
Yeah,
like
this Discord can get pretty weird sometimes.
Discord, it was real bad last year. Towards the beginning of last year, man, it was anytime I had Discord open, it was rough. And then I found out using Chrome that ping, ping, ping. I found out using Chrome with the ad blocker that the ads were actually what was like draining the resources on the computer. Cause,
Got you.
yup. But anyways, okay. So,
But yeah, that's a combination of all the things that are creating basically this downfall of
yeah.
Call of Duty, and Kotick basically is just gloating that he got out with the golden parachute. That's all that is.
The big ass golden parachute, and left Microsoft sitting there going, "Hey, look, guys, now what do we do?"
Yep, I could have told them that was a bad deal. I would have never took that deal, but they were too busy looking at all the money that they thought they were going to be making between World of Warcraft and all that
Candy
other
Crush.
stuff. So
Candy Crush.
yep, Candy Crush.
Candy Crush. I still think that there is going to be a day where we see World of Warcraft included in Game Pass subscriptions. Like,
I mean, you might. People thought it was going to happen a lot sooner. So
I just feel like it is, even though they've come out repeatedly since the merger and said no, it's not. We're gonna blah blah blah. But man, if they have a couple more bad expansions, like that game does not do them any favor. Now, hey, WoW makes its own money. Josh said no. Rachie said no. All right, I'm just saying.
I mean, WoW makes. Yeah, but WoW, like I told you, WoW has a different level of addiction that just has to be studied.
Sure. Asmongold actually did an interview with somebody recently, like one of his buddies. It was a podcast they were doing, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I caught like a few minutes of him talking about their old days with World of Warcraft, and he goes, "Man, it just got to a point where literally I was waking up, logging on, doing my raids, doing my stuff that I had to do to get my things knocked out, and then I'd get off." And he goes, "I wasn't enjoying it. I was just doing it because that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to wake up and play World of Warcraft and do all my things and then get off." It was just, he goes, it was just like eating or like anything else. He goes, it's just something I was supposed to do.
It turned into a sunk cost fallacy for most of their player base. I've invested so much time and so many years in this game, I feel like I can't quit, or I shouldn't quit. Or I shouldn't quit because I feel like I'm chasing that high when I used to enjoy the game, and maybe the next expansion will give me that, or the next expansion. So they're constantly chasing those glory days of, man, we were like the #1 paladin on the server, bro. I'm just like, yo, that's never coming back.
It's never coming back,
my guy. It's over. The only thing you got in your future is dance parties in the middle of town, showing off your $40 mount that you bought. That's all you got.
And you get to introduce her and tell everybody her name.
Right. But yeah, it essentially turns into a job. But
yeah,
like I was saying, imagine now if that was your only thing you did. So these guys moved on and they play other games, right? But now imagine all the people who didn't move on and play other games, and they're just stuck on WoW.
Yeah.
Until they're not, and then they don't play anything else.
So, speaking of being stuck on stuff, we are going to end with the topic we were going to start with. Unless you... How much time do you got? I know you've already stayed 30 minutes past what you told me.
No, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, so you and I were discussing Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii the other day in the Discord. And maybe it was this morning or yesterday morning. And it got around to me saying that I spent way too much time playing poker at the Pirate City. I spent way too much time playing blackjack and searching for treasures, and I have done absolutely nothing in the game except for meaningless bullshit. I have broken even on poker. I'm up 1,000, maybe. I can't stop though. I can't. It's borderline a problem anytime I'm back in Pirate City. I'm just one night of gaming is going to playing at the poker table. Now, that got me thinking. I've done this before with other games. Blitzball was one that had me. Once I found that all you had to do was recruit the fastest players, and I found out how to break it, I was like, oh, cool. This is fun now. Yeah, you're a gambling addict. I am not, thank you. Maybe I am. I'm probably not. I don't gamble. I've placed one bet on a horse race, and I've never been to a casino.
I've been to a casino several times, and I don't like real life gambling. But in the game, yeah, I can get pretty wild sometimes.
Right. If I lose $30,000 of pirate money, I don't give a rat's ass. If I lose $30,000 of real life money, well, the memberships are gonna have to go up. That's all I'm saying. So it got me thinking though. Like Gwent was another one. Triple Triad was one. Gwent was bad because I got good at that damn game. I got really good at Gwent, and it was a problem because
Gwent was good enough for them to eventually create a standalone game. So
it was.
If that tells you anything.
Josh Ayers. Queen's Blood was another one. I did all of those. The side story with it is super cool. It's so freaking good. So these are games that once you get into the main game, they give you these as, hey, they're fun little things to do. And they end up taking over. And so I thought it'd be fun tonight to talk a little bit, briefly or extensively, about kind of what those games were, what drew them, or what drew us to them, really. So, like, I'll bring it up with Blitzball. Blitzball was something that seemed so easy. It was literally my number beat your number if your number's smaller. Great. I can make my number bigger. You make your number bigger. If my number's still bigger, I beat you. Like, that was like very base level. That's Blitzball. And it was awesome. It was so addictive because of its simplicity that I found myself constantly going up to people and pressing square to try to recruit them. Because I wanted them on my team, or I wanted to see their stats, or I wanted to try to see if they were going to be a good fit, or whatever. But it was because of its simplicity, though, that I think I loved it so much. Because all you had to do was get a couple skills, and you were golden. All you had to do was get the fastest people, and you were golden. Didn't even matter. So what you would do is you would get the fastest person, you would pass the ball to him. You would run around, make everybody chase you, and then get like right up to the goal. And because you're the fastest, everybody else is too far behind you to engage with you once you stop for a shot. And because you're so close to the goal, the goalie, it's pretty much an automatic in, even if the person has only like a 4 or 5 shot rating, and the goalie has a 6 or 7 or a 10. Like, because you were so close, it was almost a guaranteed in. Now, sometimes the RNG would fuck with you a little bit, but it was more than likely going in, and that's how you beat it. And so I got all the special items, I got all the fun stuff, and it felt really rewarding. And it literally kept me coming back and doing so much in that game that for a while, once recruiting opened up, I was sunk. I was like, oh, I can recruit people. Oh, that's fun. And this was on second attempt playthrough. First attempt, I stopped after the first tournament because I didn't have the guide for the first playthrough. And once I had the guide, and the guide had the list of like all the people who were blitzball players and like you could see their speeds. Oh yeah, that was the game. That was awesome. And Nate, what about you? Do you have one?
I mean, there's been quite a few over the years. I mean, obviously, Final Fantasy VIII is one of my favorite games of all time. So, uh, I was pretty top tier at Triple Triad. Got pretty invested in that, getting all the ace cards and the face cards, as it were, because all the top cards were either summons or they
Hmm.
were actual characters. Um, and then you got used to that. That was a mini game within a mini game because you
Yes, it
also had
was.
the ability to change the rules by spreading rules to different places.
Hated that
So
shit
sometimes,
so bad.
yeah, it was annoying because it could backfire. So then I would sometimes have to go to different places to rearrange the rules so that I could get rid of annoying rules that I didn't like. Um, so yeah, that could get crazy. But when I was really good and I was on point and I had the decks I really wanted, um, yeah, Triple Triad was one of the better ones. Another huge one for me was the cooking game in Suikoden 2. Um, I loved the cooking game. So you would have different chefs come to your base and challenge your chef, and you would be like a sous chef. You would be like the assistant chef for your chef, and you would have four judges, and then you would need to know what the judges liked so that you could choose the dishes you were going to make based on what you had available to you. Um, so yeah, that whole thing drove me crazy, and like I had to be the top chef in Suikoden. Like that whole thing was amazing. I used to know exactly what each judge would love, or basically to just cut my losses because like these three judges like spicy stuff, and the one judge doesn't. But if I can get the three judges to one to like it, then I'm gonna win. Like little stuff like that. So um, that was a really big one for me. I did get into blitzball pretty heavily, like you were mentioning as well. Once I kind of figured out, like you said, the whole strategy for that, I got into that pretty heavily for a time as well. Um, and then of course Gwent. Gwent was really good. I don't get into it all the time because it just, but in my real heavy playthrough of The Witcher, I did get into it because there's so many different people to battle and cards to come across, to really kind of flesh out your strategy and really get your cards laid out just the way you want and get your deck built just the way you want. Um, so
Yeah, I'm
there's
missing
definitely
one
that
card
too.
from getting that trophy, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. So you know then.
I am missing one card, and it's because I didn't remember the guy who you end up killing him. He was from the House of the Cat, I think, or the
Yeah,
School of
I
the
know who you're
Cat.
talking about.
Well, I was supposed to play him before you kill him.
Oh,
And I didn't. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's who you get the Siri card from. Uh, I think.
yeah. It's been a while, so I can't
But
remember
there is a
exactly.
specific card that you can only get from him, and you have to play him beforehand. And I'm like, man, fuck this.
Yeah, no, stuff like that could definitely drive you crazy when you're supposed to do something before somebody died or something. So, yeah, that's another factor. Another, I'm trying to think some other stuff. There's been so many over the years. Like, I remember how many games we played. Honestly, fishing in Stellar Blade was actually really fun. I thought that was actually really well done. That's another mini game. Fishing in a lot of games is actually done really well and taken quite seriously. In a lot of, there's a running joke at one point. Are you really a JRPG if you don't have a fishing mini game? That was a big joke at one point. Um, so yeah, that was one. Um, Forklift racing in Shenmue was actually a lot of fun. That was super random. I definitely didn't see that coming. was like, we're really gonna race forklifts. Um, then there was one in Xenosaga that doesn't come up that often. Even when people have played the game, and honestly, I didn't play it. I didn't even play it at first either. When I had beat the original trilogy for Xenosaga, um, but when I played it later, I ended up discovering the game called Xenocard, and that has like a whole battle system and attack and like defense strategy, kind of Yu-Gi-Oh-esque kind of thing going on that most people don't even know exists. Um, so there's that as well. But yeah, I think those are probably like some of the bigger ones, but I'm sure I'm forgetting something else that I like to play. There was also in Legend of Legaia, there's the Colosseum. So in the arcade, you can win a bunch of stuff, and then they also have a Coliseum where you can earn points by battling in the arena, and it's a completely different combat style than when you're battling in the rest of the game. Uh, and that was one of my favorite things. I would love getting to this city, because when you would get to the middle of the tower, they had like this big arcade and all this other stuff going on and mini games and stuff that you could play. But the big one was the Coliseum when you battled in the Coliseum. So that was one I was always make sure I'd go all the way to the championship for that one. So that was one that was huge too. But yeah, there's been so many really good ones. Triple Triad and Blitz is probably the most famous ones, and Gwent out of those. But yeah, like even the Suikoden 2 one with the chef is like super. It's like a really popular one for a lot of people who are into Suikoden. They kept the chef battles throughout the rest of the series as well, just because they were so popular.
One
But
of the
yeah.
ones that I thought was really fun was it was one of the carnival game. I call it a carnival game, but it was from Final Fantasy Rebirth. It
Mm-hmm.
was the one where you had all the things coming across the screen from either side, and you had to shoot them down. Like, I don't know, they were like a pirate ship, and another one was like a castle, and these were all the different stages. And I just remember playing it, and I sucked at that game, but I played it for like 45 minutes during one of the gaming sessions for that, and I was like, why? I don't even need to fucking do this. I've already done it once. Like, what? Like, something about a good mini game will suck you in and just keep you there, and you're like, I don't know why is it 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've done nothing but but play this game. Uh, but yeah, I've really enjoyed. Josh has listed out a few things. The casino in Dead or Alive. He said there Tetramaster, Ocarina of Time Fishing, and then the Rapunzel Arcade and Catherine. I'm guessing that's Catherine Fullbody. And so there are, like Nate said, there are so many games that have littler games built in within them to break up the monotony, to break up the pacing, to sometimes even break up. Oh my gosh, you just got done with a big, huge like section. Let's go play a game and like get our mind off of it.
Oh,
Uh,
matter of fact, more recently, Zeni Hajiki
yes, I
and
was gonna say that. That's where I was going with
yeah,
that.
yeah, Zeni Hajiki was awesome.
Because it was a
Yeah.
break from the pacing. It was a break from like all the just craziness that was going around. You could just go and play, and it was always tied to something. You could play them more afterwards. It was really fun, and it felt like a game that there was no cheat to. You know what I mean? Like, because everything was pressured based off of the trigger.
Yeah.
And so the distance was decided based off of how hard you pressed the trigger, and wherever the coin landed, well, now you had a new distance that you had to try to figure out exactly how much you had to pull versus how much you didn't. It was so how Josh, I don't want to know. Josh is like, "Oh, you could cheat. How? I don't
He's talking about turning on the there's this thing in the assist. You can turn on a setting in the assist where you can see the distance, like you can get the visual of the distance. Yeah, most people.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't find that out until later.
oh, that's dirty. I
But
had
yeah,
no idea.
yeah. Which, to be fair, I get why they put it in there because some people, some people can't accurately feel the pressure in the, the stick that way.
That's
So
true.
I get why some people might need a visual. So I appreciate it being there, and I definitely abused it later. So I'm not gonna hold you. Um, I turned into a straight shark when I found that out. I was like, I mean, I was already good at it, but yeah, once I saw that I could see the visual, bro, I was just
Man.
clean. I was cleaning whole tables, bro. I like people wouldn't even want to play me no more. Like I had to go to different parlors just to find new people to play because I was like, bro, y'all ain't up in the ante enough, bro. I need somebody to come in here and drop 10 stacks, bro. I'm playing for big money. Yeah,
Oh
I
man.
turned into a straight Zenny Hajiki shark, bro. I was trying to go after everybody.
It was a really fun game. Okay. So what it reminded me of, everybody who was in high school or middle school remembers those damn little paper footballs we all used to make, right?
Absolutely.
It reminded me of being in class, turned back around to the person behind you, or they were turned around to you, and y'all built two paper footballs, and now you tried to flick them across the freaking table, and whoever made it furthest hanging off without going over got the goal, and then you had to kick the field goal with it, and that was what you played. Like that is what this game felt like. It felt like I had trained my entire adolescence to be able to be good at that game.
Understandable.
that's I think that's why I enjoyed it so much because it really did feel like that. It felt like the paper football game,
I
and
mean,
that
it's
was
another good example of good usage of the travel and the tension in the sticks,
yeah,
the trigger in order to utilize the pressure, not just for racing games, where racing games started to utilize the amount of pressure to act more like a real pedal. So yeah, it was a really good example.
gotcha. I just looked up Ghost of Yotei to make sure it was a game that I got the platinum in. I'm super pissed off right now. I did not realize that they added two new trophies for New Game Plus. Fuck. Now I'm at 54 out of
Oh,
56, and I'm at 95% with a freaking platinum. That's some bullshit. That,
see, I never let that bother me
what up, Lunchy?
whenever I take a screenshot, I just go into the part where I have the 100%,
That's
and
right.
then I take the screenshot. Yeah, because if I
Dang
went back
it.
every time they did that, bro, it would take me forever.
That just sucks. Like, it's supposed to say 100%. Don't do that to me.
Hey, look, I like it better than at least on Xbox. So on Xbox, it's just going to down your score,
Oh,
so
oh.
your overall score. But at least on the PlayStation, it's segmented, so you still have 100% in the original segment.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, I
That's
like
true.
that.
That makes sense. Okay. All right, so guys, we've had a great conversation tonight. We've had a ton of fun. We actually had quite a few people in here at one point, so that was awesome. Last week was like, oh my God, what's happening? Is this? It's been a week. How did it get so bad? What's wrong? And this week was more back to normal, so I enjoyed that. Once again, this Hero kind of pointed it out at the beginning, but the podcast is kind of been going through a transition. Uh, we are 25 episodes in from the reformatting, and the more it keeps going, the more we just talk about games. The more, like, oh, Josh, you said that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Uh, whoops, my bad. Uh, I thought Hero said it also. Anyways, uh, it's just more talking about the games. I It's hard for me to keep track of all the comings and goings and all the who got fired from where and what all happened here. Like But you know what's not hard for me to do? It's not hard for me to play games. It's not hard for me to talk about games. I love this hobby. I love this thing. It's been with me for so long. And there's a deep, deep well of shit that I can pull from. And I get guests on here like a Nate who, like, they have that deep well also, even deeper. And so it's really been a breath of fresh air. Like tonight, I had no guest, and I messaged Nate and I was like, "Hey, you made mention of it last week on the show. You still planning on coming by?" And he had said, "Yeah," but I didn't know because I was too busy trying to get everything organized, set up, and all that, and I didn't even get the notification. And so the whole time I'm like, "Well, looks like this is just going to be me tonight." And my wife was like, "So what do you do on nights like that?" And I was like, I'll go over my news topics, and then I have that demo of the Voyager game that came out, and I'm sure that would be a blast to just play that game with y'all. And so I was like, we'll make it work, because it's no longer about the stories we cover. It's just about the games. That's it. And everything that brings with it. So what is that? Does that bring a memory of a childhood friend that you want to talk about? Hell yeah, let's go. We all have that. Does that bring about a really cool moment that happened in a game or in a genre that you don't usually play? Or it's like Nate was telling war stories almost tonight about his time in Destiny and his time in Black Ops. Like, that's really awesome stuff to hear. Because remember, most of us don't have a Morgan that is just a phone call away. Most of us don't have that real life in-person person, sure, that we can talk to. So being able to come here and just talk to other gamers and with other gamers and interact with y'all, it's been amazing. Thank y'all so much. Nate, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky and Twitter at The Real Innate, and on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on the Otter Players podcast.
Yes, and this last one, it's a really fun dynamic that they have, because Nate there's a bigger panel over there. There's 4 of them. And Nate kind of does the lead off and things like that, but very much he'll throw out the question, and then there's no time limit. So you might be over there and you might hear Morgan talking for 45 minutes. You might hear Omar talking for 45 minutes. And it's really good because when you hear them getting onto their tangents, you can just hear the passion. Even Omar, you can just hear the passion that they actually have for the gaming. And for the games coming out, and just gaming in general. And so, really good show. It is a travesty that they do not have 500 subs. Y'all need to go subscribe to them. If you're not, go check them out. Hit a like on all their stuff. It's a fantastic show, and you will be introduced to things that you probably don't know. Next week is Will 777JP, Mr. Josh. He will be on next week as per the rotation. And so we will be here discussing, once again, gaming and maybe some gaming news. It's getting less and less frequent as this year keeps going. Eventually, we'll just be a gaming podcast for a bunch of dads.
I was gonna say that sucks that your show is on a Wednesday.
I know.
And the Xbox show is the very next day.
I know.
Oh, man.
I can't win them all. Last year I got super lucky. I had state of plays on the day of the show. I had big announcements on the day of the show. This year, it's all coming out afterwards. The New Game Plus show was after. The Xbox show was after. So yeah, trust me. If I ever got to the point where I could just be like, you know what, work is fun, but I'd rather stay home, then maybe. But timing is what it is. We will see.
Well, fun fact, a little earlier note that potentially leaked. because Morgan linked this earlier, which makes me excited, is that Forza Horizon 6 looks like it's actually launching pretty soon, and it looks like it's supposed to be scheduled for May 19th, which, of course, Premium Edition usually get early access, so it would be up to May 15th, which I always get, and I'm super excited for this one, because obviously it's going to be in Japan, so I gotta get, my Tokyo Drift on, so I'm super excited.
So I didn't discuss this because it was a leak, but like, is
Hmm.
that pretty like? Is you think it's pretty solid?
I think it's pretty solid. Like it lines up based on what I've heard about the development of the game.
Okay.
Um, there was another tidbit that kind of came out before where someone who had worked on the game stated that um, they were able to work on this game wholeheartedly in 100% fashion. They stated even though people really liked Forza Horizon 5, it suffered a lot in development from COVID and a bunch of other stuff. So, like, supposedly Forza Horizon 6 has been heavily being worked on for a while. So, this actually lines up pretty well, especially because on top of that, obviously, we're going to see Fable,
Mm-hmm.
which they've basically confirmed at this point, which is lining up for a late 2026, early 2027 release. Um, so honestly, it's looking like Playground might, basically be this year's Obsidian. They might pull the double hit out the park if they can nail both of these games. So I'm excited, man. But yeah,
Man,
it's definitely realistic, and the people who leaked it are known to have leaked it before. So yeah, this is pretty solid.
that's crazy. So Josh just asked the big question: is it PlayStation Day One?
No, no, it's still it. This one's gonna be delayed. It'll probably be 3 months, but um, I think they're gonna short. They want that window as short as possible because Forza Horizon 5 made more money on PlayStation than any other platform.
Yes, and it also beat out Ghost of Yotei in Europe. That was one of our topics for tonight that we didn't get to. Uh,
Yeah,
but it
I
did
mean
beat
it's
out
an
Ghost of
incredible game.
Yotei,
So
and I don't think that means the sky is falling, but that's just it
I mean,
is.
it's that good of a game with
Yeah.
zero competition. And I mean, like you said, you were playing, Need for Speed or whatever, but Need for Speed hasn't had a new game, and even if they did, it wouldn't be able to stand up to Forza.
Yeah.
So, like,
Go listen to
yeah,
my review. I'm already getting kind of bored with the same repetitive race, chase, race. Like, even in Most Wanted and Carbon, it didn't feel like you
mhm.
had to chase every single race that you were in.
Yeah,
And
I know exactly what you mean because I've played that one so a little bit earlier, a couple of years ago when it first came out. So I mean, I know what you mean, and
yeah.
honestly, a big thing of what you just stated, as well as the rubber banding that you were complaining about,
Ooh.
is a big reason why Forza is so good. Because there's so many different activities besides that, and the customization is heavy with over 600, to 700 plus vehicles. Like, bro, we've gotten on the game and just literally partied up, gone up the mountain, and just drifted for whole sessions while just chilling. Like, we didn't even race. We're just pulling out different cars, tandem drifting. Everybody's practicing their drift so we can drift in tandem down in like 5 cars deep, drifting directly next to each other and just vibing out. And everybody's got their playlist going and just vibing. Like, so you don't even
Damn.
have to like racing is super fun in the game, but you don't even have to do that. Like, we've gone around, messed around on the map, randomly
And this is Forza
roll up to
Motorsport
people.
6.
Forza Horizon. This is
Forza.
Forza Horizon.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that I'm talking about.
I
Yeah,
was like, wait a minute, that's not what I've heard about Forza Motorsport. Okay, that makes more sense.
yeah. Motorsport is. Oh
So
yeah, that's
Forza
a way
Horizon
different thing.
5 is what. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, we've randomly. There's a drag strip on there. We randomly go up to the drag strip and just start racing people and all kinds of stuff, bro. It just like we. I'm telling you, man, it's a ball. It's just
Mm.
There's so much fun stuff. You can like randomly play like basically like almost like a bumper cars kind of thing in an arcade system, like it, running off doing stunts, seeing who could jump the furthest off the mountain. Like we'd be doing all kinds of random stuff in that game. Like yo,
Well,
everybody got to drive the SUV for the next 30 minutes, and then we're gonna go do this, and this, or like we just be doing all kinds of stuff, man. Like it gets crazy, and I don't think
that's
Forza Horizon 6 is gonna be any different.
well, Motorsport 6 is what's coming.
No, Horizon 6.
Could have.
Motorsport was on 8, and Motorsport is basically done at this point.
Oh, that's what it was saying. Okay.
Yeah, Forza Motorsport that they basically cut support, and they put that team on support for Forza Horizon 5, and the Forza Horizon 6 team is
Yep.
fully devoted to 6 now. Yeah.
Yep, I read it wrong. That was my bad. I thought for some reason I thought it said Motorsport.
Nah, Forza Horizon 6 is what's coming.
Okay. Hey, maybe that means Forza Horizon 5 will be down to like $15 and I can play that. Get a taste of the franchise, see what it feels like.
Yeah, man, it's awesome.
Listen, I have started really enjoying just having a couple games that I can just pop in and do a couple things in and pop out of. And honestly, that's why my new video series is called Pass, Play, or Add to Library. Because, like, on these PS Plus titles, man, sometimes they are just fun games that you can just hop into, do a couple things, and hop right back out of. That is honestly that's how I play racing games now anyways. That's how I play any sport game, really, is I have one. It's usually a couple years old, and it's just there because sometimes, occasionally, I like to put it in and play a little bit and throw the football and have some fun and then hop off and don't touch it again for another couple months. Like that's how I view this. So that's why I've kind of been playing it, because it's been one of those, hey, it's like junk food. I don't want it all the time, but sometimes it's just nice, and it does. I will say this: I'm glad I didn't play Need for Speed Unbound when it launched, because I heard that it's on some playthroughs it was dang near just broken. So glad I didn't play it on launch. I am also going to give it its props that the vibe of the game is everything I would expect from a street racing game. And so I feel like they nailed the vibe 100% in Unbound, but I don't think they definitely didn't nail the racing, and they make it too hard for you to actually get like first or second or third place. And
They do.
I think that's where the game loses me, because I've played it enough now. I have a turbo on my vehicle. I have a upgraded suspension, new tires, and it's like it doesn't matter. I seem to be playing better and performing better,
But
but
then they'll just they'll upgrade right next to you. It doesn't matter.
right, and it feels like I'm always in fourth and fifth place. And
Yeah, so this right here is part of why I told you why you won't really see a new Need for Speed, because they can't compete nowadays with games like Forza Horizon anymore, when like Need for Speed is like the series that used to come out with like 100, 80 to 120 cars or something.
yeah,
Focus on customization. It had that cool factor like you're talking about. They got that vibe. They got that little story they're going on. Well, Forza came out, and once Forza Horizon came out and, got to its fourth in the series, it basically started just killing anything else that came out with these things, because now you've got this title with over 500 cars that also has the customization, that also gives you free roam, that gives you all the stuff they used to do, and then none of the annoyances that they give you. So you don't have that rubber banding. I can smoke the NPCs by a nautical mile if my car is just tuned that well and
yeah.
I drive that well. There's no rubber banding. If the NPC runs into the wall
Yep.
at 140 miles an hour, they will
Ooh.
not be on my bumper ever again.
Okay, so one of the examples I gave in my video today was literally that example. I ran somebody off the road, watched him hit the damn pillar, and then all of a sudden, 10 seconds later, he's on my ass again. I'm like, wait a minute. If I hit the pillar, I lose 5 spots in the race. If this dude hits the pillar, he's back on my butt that quick. And I was like, man, that's really frustrating. But
It's frustrating.
the customization is there. Like you said, the cool factor. I love the fact that I made my matte black car with my flames on the side of it. And they're in the lime green with the matte black wheels, and everything's there, and you can change the tint color, and like it's so freaking cool. Like everything I want in a street racing game was achieved in Unbound. But I also want to be able to win. So like 10 out of 10 on aesthetic, about a 5 out of 10 on racing.
Remember what we talked about earlier? I want it to be my fault if
Yes.
I don't win,
Yes.
but I don't want it to be unfair. So basically, what you're experiencing
That's true.
is the two shot and the cheap tactics in a racing game.
Yep.
That's what you're experiencing. And then, like I said, the other problem for them is like now that, like I said, the reason why you haven't seen a new Need for Speed is because they know they can't compete with a game that not only, like you said, that it achieved everything you wanted, almost though. Because now, what if I told you I could give you all of that better and with almost 800 vehicles?
See, that sounds fun.
You see? Now that is crazy. And then we could ride around the whole city and not have to race a single time.
Is there a story in Horizon?
Yeah, there's a story. There's a whole thing where you follow and you go through and you're doing like you're going from place to place and they're introducing you to different areas. There's a reason there's SUVs in the game. You're meant to go through like a Baja area and jump the sand dunes and
hey, listen, Test Drive Off-Road was one of my favorite racing games.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You get a taste of everything when it comes to Forza.
Anybody in the chat remember Test Drive Off-Road? The freaking Jeep Wrangler was broken
Off-Road
in that game. It was so good. If you had the Jeep Wrangler, you could pretty much beat everybody else. It was just that good. And so it was, oh man, I wasted so much time in that game. I'm telling you, man, there was a time where racers and I were like in it. Like I played the Midnight Club. I played Midnight Club Dub Edition, as a matter of fact.
That's how I met Priscilla in Midnight Club Dub Edition.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The PS3 or LA. I think it was Midnight Club Dub LA or whatever. The one for PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
That's where I met her. I met her in an online lobby in one of those. That's where I first
met her.
No,
you did not.
Yeah.
That's freaking sick. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
We still have the copy of the game on the shelf.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, y'all been together for a minute then.
Well, we knew each other for a long time before we started.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Hero just said, what a love story. Speaking of love stories, it's been 3 hours and I got to go to bed. I don't know what that has to do with a love story at all, but I needed to find some way.
Like Drake, like Drake, you love your bed. So,
no,
there you go. That's what it has to do.
No.
Yeah.
We're not.
You know you love the bed. When you get in bed and you get comfortable,
I do.
You love it.
My wife tonight. So I was gonna quit. Here you go. We have a thick quilt in like material, but it's thin in like presentation. So like it's super dense material, and it's just a quilt. Anybody who's seen a quilt knows what they are. They're very dense. They're very thin, but they keep you warm and they keep you cozy. Well, my wife tonight was like, I think we should get a new bed set, which all I heard was cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And she was like, I was like, why a new one? We have a bed set that you made us purchase. And I was like, the only way we get a new one is if we go back to the fluffy, big padded blankets that I like. And she was like, I kind of want to go back to the big puffy padded blankets. So there will be a day, hopefully very soon, where Thrifty will be loving his pillows and his blankets.
Hey, there you go. They said back to the comfort life. I see
Yeah,
you.
back to the listen. I call them college comforters because when you go to Walmart at college move-in time, if you live in a college town, they are lining the bedding aisles with these like $60 to $80 bed sets. They're all monocolor, and they all have a really awesome blanket and really terrible sheets. So you just throw away the sheets, buy you new sheets, and keep the blanket. The blanket is always cold, it's puffy as hell, and it feels amazing. And like those blankets are my absolute favorite. Well, my wife, after we had been married for a few years, was like, those are college blankets. We're not in college anymore. We
Not
shouldn't have
college
those.
blankets. Yo, I'm dead. I have never heard that phrasing.
Have you not?
I have never heard the phrasing. Those are college blankets in my
Oh,
life.
bro, it's a thing. Like, I could say
That is
that to most
hilarious.
people up here, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, oh yeah, you
I
mean the
mean,
ones that are like,
I know what college bedrooms look like, but I just
yeah.
never heard someone call a specific blanket a college blanket.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, that's a new terminology for
There
me.
you
I
go.
was today years old when I heard the term college blanket.
I'm telling you. And it's
But yeah, I'm gonna let you go to
yep.
bed
I gotta go.
because I gotta go get coffee before they close.
Yeah, she'll keep. You do. All right, guys.
Yep.
Y'all have a good night. Thank y'all for showing up. It's been wonderful. Tip your waitress, and we will catch you on the next one.